Bushwhacks were some of the worst days I've ever had in the mountains, or life, really.
Whereas Panther Mountain is totally opposite. It's a mountain on top of a crater.
I think the weather challenges on this incident were particularly difficult.
It was really the development of New York State. Catskills were responsible.
Now you're listening to Inside the Line, the Catskill Mountains Podcast.
We're back. We're back after a week, a long 2 weeks of drought.
You're back. I didn't ever leave. I've been sitting here by the microphone for the last 2 weeks waiting for you to return.
True. Did you do an episode without me?
I did. Yeah.
Like 6.
Yeah, I got a couple of the fellows that hate the show on, and we talk trash.
I mean, you got to let off the steam once in a while, man.
Yeah, when the boss leaves, the employees, they screw around, and that's what we did. So this is really episode 223.
Nice.
222 came out on the dark web last week. So those of you who didn't find it, hit AI, Google, and it'll lead you to it, and it's worthwhile. It's a good listen.
Nice. I will check it out, definitely. So, welcome everyone to episode 222. I think that has like a 222 have a significance with something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to talk about my trip to California, where I went up to the Sierra Nevada, Sequoia National Forest, and Kings Canyon National Park, and Yosemite. So it's going to be a blast. I had a blast. So it's good to be back in the Catskills. I got out in the Catskills today, and I was going to be like, man, is this going to suck? Am I going to feel like I need to get back out west? No, I love the Catskills. Oh, it felt so good.
Well, that's good to hear.
Whole different feeling.
And before we move on, Room 222 was a TV show in the early 70s, Room 222. So if episode 222 sounds familiar to us old timers, it might be because of that TV show.
Reach out to me and let me know if you know about that. And reach out to me if you don't know about that. That would be pretty funny to hear how many people don't know about it, because I don't. So I do want to make a big apology for not letting everybody know that we were going dry that 1 week, because I did not let anybody know, and it's just blank all the whole time, and I was just posting stuff about me going out into California, so I felt bad. I felt like an asshole. I was like, oh shit, I didn't post anything.
Yeah, well, maybe that explains why it rained all last weekend, because you were away.
Oh, good point.
So there you go.
I mean, talk about, having a bad time. So apparently some New York City man got stuck in a cave. Tad, you sent me this, and I saw a little couple things when I was out in California. This doesn't look like a fun time.
No.
So this guy was from Brooklyn, and he went to a cave that was in Canaan. Is that how you say it? Canaan.
I didn't look into the details that close enough to catch that.
Yeah, I think it's Canaan. So Merlin's Cave at around 6:30 p.m. The DEC said that he was stuck. With his lower foot was stuck until 9 p.m. that a rescue team was able to get to the site. And the temperature dropped to 50 degrees with 100% humidity. And Forest Ranger Gullen said there was 3 of his buddies who were still with him and trying to get him out. At this point, they had been in the cave for many hours, and they were all hypothermic. So once again, I hear what you're doing, but we had a discussion about, once again, you can't, it's one of those times of when you think like, should I save myself or save this guy? It's like a 50-50, right?
Yeah. That's a tough decision. Kudos to the New York DEC Rangers for sticking it out and saving this guy's life.
Yeah. So 20 minutes to crawl 400 feet into the cramped cave to get to the trapped man, who is not identified other than a Brooklyn resident. He was the Gullen said he was really jammed in there more than he expected. Like his full body was stuck in a crevice that was basically designed in the exact shape of him. So they were telling jokes to each other. They couldn't budge the man. They had to retrieve a rock drill, and they kept telling jokes to keep the man from panicking over the ordeal of 140 miles from his home. And once they armed the drill, Gullen said it took less than a half an hour to free the man, who was not injured. I remember reading somewhere that this was a battery-powered drill that was no different than something you have at home. So it's not like they went out and got this special drill specifically used for these type of situation. I'm guessing somebody on the outside just went and retrieved a drill in either their house or their truck or something like that, and they started drilling to break apart the pieces of rock to get this guy out. And from the pictures, I'll have it in the show notes. That looks terrifying, to get your lower half of your body stuck and not being able to move. Tad, I told you this. That is like a fear. Like, I think it's like the number 1 or 2 fear. I would say drowning is the number 1. Second fear is this, like the 127 hours guy, just not being able to move in a rock crevice and be like, hey, need some help here.
Yeah. That's an interesting activity. These cave explorers and all of the inherent risks associated with that. Probably a much more risky activity than hiking,
climbing, stuff like that, bouldering. Is Sophie going to get into this?
Caving? Yeah, we've talked about it before, but right now she's consumed by rock climbing.
Nice. So, I mean, this is another fear of yours, because you never know where she's going to go with her hobbies or her interests to go.
Yeah, well, you could say that.
Yeah. So also you talk about Sophie doing rock climbing and stuff like that. So when I was in Yosemite Park, apparently I was looking up at El Capitan when I was checking it out. We took the bus over there, and at the time, I didn't even know this, but a 7-year-old kid was climbing El Capitan and was going to be the youngest kid to summit El Capitan. So, amazing accomplishment. Apparently his brother did it at 8 years old, a couple years ago, and they celebrated his birthday when he summited the day of on top of El Capitan. So, his name is Joey Evermore, and he completed the climb alongside his older brothers Sam and Sylvian and his father Joe. And now they had a documentary crew with them as well. So pretty amazing accomplishment. Jessica and I were down there. We had no clue. Apparently nobody else did, because they had telephoto lens and stuff like that on the climber, so we could see them from a distance, and it was super cool. But nobody had a clue that this kid was going to be the one to summit El Capitan on his birthday and be the youngest climber. That's a little scary. That's not a little scary, but it's a little disappointing.
Why is that disappointing?
Because I didn't get to see them, man. I was standing right there looking up at El Capitan. They were showing me other people. It was pretty cool, seeing all their bags and stuff like that, like what they climb with, and also where they have to poop.
You were like at a watch station that they had set up with telephoto lenses, and tourists walking by could look through the telephoto lenses and see people making their ascent of El Capitan.
Correct.
Yeah.
They said there were 22 people doing it that day, which was a Thursday. Yeah. Yeah. And just seeing from the naked eye, you could see weird stuff, maybe a white shirt or some neon bags, and then some tents. Actually on one of the cliffs, they had tents, but, to not see this kid that, on this, Joey Evermore, with his awesome helmet that has a mohawk on it and stuff. I was just I think we came back from California, and I saw this, and I was just like, damn it, nobody said anything. And then apparently some woman posted something about it. She's just like, I'm here with my husband and we're watching this kid summit, and she zoomed in with her iPhone, and there the kid is. And I was like, damn it.
So he turned 7 that day, obviously then. he started climbing when he was very young. If 7 is not young, and was a very proficient climber during his, being age 6. It's kind of an interesting thing. And do you know whether or not they did that in a single day, or did they have to camp overnight to do the ascent?
3 days.
3 days?
Yeah.
Wow.
Once again, I was it was cool because they had stewards at the bottom, so like giving you information, and a climber actually that I met, I talked to, that he was just like, oh, I'm from New York. I used to, climb in New Paltz up in the Gunks. That's where I started. And I was like, oh, no shit. It was pretty cool. So he was giving me some inside information about all that stuff. And like, I was unaware, once again, like, I know I always come back to this. This might be TMI. Where on the fucking mountain, on the goddamn 3,000-foot rock face that's vertical, do you shit?
Oh, they have a whole means and method for doing
Yeah,
that.
they have a bucket.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It's just like, that's crazy. But, and Tad's just like, I might do this.
I suppose so.
Are you going to do this, Tad? Are we going to see you?
No, I wouldn't do something like that.
What if Sophie took you?
Well, if she took me, obviously, then I would have been climbing for some period of time before I got there. And
True.
I'd be into it. At this point in my life, I don't envision taking up rock climbing. People think about the strength it takes to do that, and they think about, arm strength and upper back strength. But what really, really, really needs to be strong are your fingers. Okay? Because you do a lot of it is just gripping with the tip of your fingers. So you really, really need to build up to that level. And part of the problem with climbing a big wall like El Capitan and other big walls is you just start to cramp up, because it's a lot of work to get up there. So you build up to it. And I've seen in my daughter, over the course of the 4 years that she's been rock climbing, her transformation from somebody who was physically fit and in shape and had some level of muscle tone and definition to now she has this stark appearance to her arms, her back, her whole physique.
Wow.
Kind of incredible. So, yeah, I mean, so I have, interesting thoughts about a 6-year-old becoming 7-year-old having this type of strength and stamina, and maybe it's something inherent in youth to be able to work up to this and do it.
Yeah,
pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's I find it fascinating that, once again, and the kid, on the little snippets that I saw, was really into it. He loved it, and he was having a good time. And that's what it's all about. Instead of forcing your kids to do that stuff, like I took up rock climbing, you're going to take it up as well, and then just force him. This kid was just like messing around with his brother on the rock ledge, and his dad was just like, hey, no pushing. And I'm just like, Jesus, I'm like, no pushing above 1,000 feet.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, and the one thing when I was at El Capitan is I didn't know that they go up with those like not the pylons. What do they push into the rock and then it expands that they use as their anchor?
Cams.
Yeah. So I thought that there were some routes that had the anchors already set up, and they said there are no routes up there that they have set up. That it's not free climbing, but it somewhat is. You have to take all your gear up. You have to do what the work.
Yeah. So the terminology is they're traditional or trad climbing El Capitan because there's no bolting or gear in place. You have to bring your gear, place your gear, and then clean it up as you go up the mountain. There's the lead climber who's up there placing the gear as the lead goes up the mountain, and the last person up that line takes the gear out as they go up. What my daughter's been doing for over, I'm going to say almost going on 2 years now, is she's been doing what they call sport climbing, and all the routes are pre-bolted. And so for sport climbing, it's more of like an endurance or sprinting sport compared to trad. Gear placement slows down the pace of the climb itself. but they both entail risk. They both entail adventure and a certain sense of, becoming one with the mountain,
Yeah.
literally.
I would say that's a whole different thing than hiking. That's
Hey, man, you could take, I don't know how long it takes to get to the summit of El Capitan and how many miles it is up, or you could just do like these rock climbers do and go straight up.
Yeah. They
And
have
looking over your shoulder, it's an incredible view. I know my daughter, she's in France right now, and she's been sending us some pictures of what she's been climbing in the Alps, and it's just, breathtaking.
Wow. Do we have to get her on again?
Yeah, if you want to. I mean, I don't know when she's coming back. Her visa ran out in Spain. Now she's hanging out in France until that visa runs out, and who knows what's next on the list. As far as she's concerned, there's no point in coming back to the States for a while. So she's out having a good time.
How old is she?
She is 26 right now. And she's in France. She's been tent camping. When she was in Spain, she was living in a little farming community in a farmhouse.
Wow.
Doing farm chores. Yeah, she's having a good time.
Wow. That's awesome too. I couldn't imagine what you hear from her and stuff like that. When you get the pictures, you're just like, where the hell are you now?
Yeah,
like,
well, we're gonna hear from you later on how you had such a grand time taking a week off. And my daughter's been on vacation now. She's going on year 3 traveling on the road, living out of her car, living in a tent, living in hostels. Sometimes they'll rent a house for a month someplace. It's a whole different lifestyle. She's having a good time.
Wow.
I'm
amazing.
Happy for her. Yeah. I mean, she went to France with a friend of hers. They got there by train. They had 2 friends that were living there, picked them up, and they went to this little outpost for rock climbers. And that's where they've been based out of. And she's meeting all these people there, these rock climbers that, they go out and climb every day and hang out and have a good time.
Wow. Unbelievable. That is the life.
I'll say this, man, the nicest thing about the climbing, like a friend of mine was telling me that he went golfing last weekend at a place in Westchester County, and to play 18 holes of golf, guess how much money he spent for greens fees? 18 holes.
I would have to say, like, where was this?
Some snooty golf club, country club in Westchester.
Oh, that's got to be over like $200.
It was $375, right?
Yikes.
Yeah, and you're out there and you're looking for that little white ball and yada yada yada. $375 for the day, and here's my daughter. She's over in France, and I don't know what she's spending a night to stay at the camp, but it can't be a lot. And every day the climbing's free.
Yeah. Right. Oh man, that's a horrible course, man. I got golf courses up here in upstate that are decent, and you get like $30
well,
with a 6-pack.
Well, there you go. It's not frisbee golf. It's
disc golf.
It's golf.
Man, you can't tell me that you didn't play disc golf when you were in college.
Yeah, but it wasn't as I guess
competitive.
Organized. Well, not that it was competitive or not. I mean, we played disc golf around college campus, but we didn't have, made up holes. I mean, you might try to hit a trash can on campus or something else, a doorway or whatnot, or put it in somebody's window. But
you hippies.
Yeah, we were.
That's awesome. Well, great. Glad to hear everybody's having a good time. And glad to hear that guy lived in the cave, because that would have been pretty crazy to hear about that later on. So one big thing that I want to say is big thank you to the awesome monthly supporters of the show: Chris Garabian, Eric Rosario, Jeff Jotz, Vicky Ferrer, Mikey S., Henry Burmeister, John Comiskey, Summit Seekers, Desert City Radio, Betsy A., Denise W., Vanessa, and Jim C. Thank you guys so much for supporting the show. Greatly appreciate it. And once again, your money just doesn't go into the show. It goes back into the Catskills. I got to probably make a donation soon. We're probably getting to that point of where we should make a donation.
Send in your suggestions.
Yeah, right. That's a great idea. So once again, send in your suggestions of where we should donate to. So I know we've donated to the Friends of the Feathered and Furry, Delaware Humane Society, or the Catskill Heart of the Catskills. We has also donated to Forest Ranger Foundation many times because they definitely need it. And I talked to a forest ranger today. So, but send us your thoughts. So thank you, Tad, for bringing that up. Also,
Yeah,
go ahead.
I understand soon. CATS, the Catamount Adoption and Training Stewards Program, Catamount Adoption and Training Stewards Program, will be becoming a non-for-profit and accepting donations shortly to repopulate mountain lions in the Catskills. It's our new pet project here at Inside the Line.
I like that. And when it becomes a 501c3, let me know, and we will donate it to that organization because, I hear they're doing great things already over on Graham and Double Top.
Yeah. Our attorneys, Dewey, Hikemore, and Howe, are working on the non-for-profit papers.
I can't wait to hear. I can't wait to get on it. So, once again, amazing thank yous to our sponsors like Outdoor Chronicles Photography. So, if you want to capture your love story against breathtaking backdrops, you need to get a hold of Outdoor Chronicles Photography. Molly specializes in adventure couple photography, and she'll immortalize your moments amidst stunning landscapes of the Catskills, Adirondack, and White Mountains. She'll craft timeless images that reflect unique bond in nature's grandeur. Embark on an unforgettable photographic journey with Outdoor Chronicles Photography. Don't hesitate to get a hold of Molly on all platforms. Also, if you want to discover the wilderness, you need to get a hold of Trailbound Project. Our expert-led hiking and backpacking education program offer unparalleled outdoor experiences. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned adventurer, join us to learn essential skills, explore stunning trails, and connect with nature. Start your journey today with Trailbound Project and unlock the wonders of the great outdoors. Trailbound Project has a lot of amazing stuff going on. So they're starting off with their spring season and their summer season. So check out their stuff if you want to get your wilderness first aid or stuff like that, or even just go on a hike with them, learn new skills. Check them out. So the big question was, in these past 2 weeks, were you really outdoors? I have a lot going on. If you mention the podcast on one of your hikes through social media, we'll chat about it on the show. And you tag us by typing at ITL Catskill MTM podcast on your post. And I gotta say this, sorry if I missed your tag. Once again, I was out in California, so we're 3 hours behind. 3 hours behind. So once again, get out at 5 o'clock of the park, and it's 8 o'clock here. So sorry. So if I missed your tag, Tad, if you know anybody that tagged the show and you want to call them out, let me know.
All right. I won't remember offhand.
Okay. Hey, that's good.
Don't count on me for anything other than a lighthearted comment from time to time.
Yeah. So Jeff Jotz was with Orla up on Raccoon Ridge, enjoying the beautiful sunshine, and then went swimming at that same day, and then also spent a rainy day in some New Jersey woods. Didn't specify where, but he got a fantastic photo of him and Orla out in the ledge, and that was just beautiful.
Awesome.
Yeah, definitely appreciate Jeff. Also, Scott, aka Catskill Mountain Brew, did Southwest Hunter and Russ, and then did a finish on Balsam Lake Mountain of the 4 single seasons in a row. So,
yeah, kudos to Scott, man. That's quite an effort, 4 in a row.
So, how many of that is like he crossing off the grid for that 4 in a row?
Yeah. So if he's doing 35 for his single season, then that's 140.
Wow. So he's quarter of the way there.
Yeah.
Crazy.
He's banging out some mountains.
Yeah. And then also off in the woods, Sean did the same thing with Scott and enjoyed Scott's finish up on Balsam Lake Mountain too. So is Scott going after the grid? Probably. We got another gritter. Got these.
Well, yeah, eventually, if you keep track, eventually you're either going to check off all the boxes, or there's some mountains that you just don't care about revisiting, and then you don't finish the grid, but you still hike a lot, which is a good thing.
Now, were you starting out to do the grid as well, or did you just realize that you started checking off all these boxes and you might as well go for it?
Well, which time? The first time or the second time?
The first time.
Yeah, so the first time, there did come a point where I realized that I might as well put my notes together, fill out a grid, see where I was on the grid, and then set out to do it. And that's what I did. And the first grid 1.0 was a lot of fun. There did become a point in time where it kind of seemed somewhat monotonous because you were almost doing like production hikes every weekend, that you need to hike this, you need to hike that, you need to hike so many peaks, because I wanted to finish at a certain point, and to meet that deadline, you had to become relatively organized to do it. And then Grid 2.0 was almost the same thing, where I was doing all this hiking, and it occurred to me that the decision-making process in terms of what to hike next would be facilitated by doing a grid and, seeing when's the last time I was there, how often have I hiked this mountain, and let's spread it around. And there's kind of like an ebb and flow in terms of why to do a second grid, why not. I mean, Danny Davis never did a second grid, but he probably did enough Catskill hiking to do maybe 3 or 4 grids. Sure. And so my right now, my thought process on Grid 2.0 is, do I put the hammer down and finish it within the next year? Or do I take 2 or 3 years and just make it really fun and interesting by doing some pretty avant-garde approaches to these different mountains? And I'm kind of migrating towards that second position.
Nice. So who knows is going after it,
Yeah, well, you on Hikers Anonymous, you can see who's posting their grid progress. And, there's a lot of people out there doing it. Some people don't finish the grid. One thing I'll say is, when you do finish your first grid, there is a certain sense of accomplishment, but it just seems to kind of like pass pretty quickly, because then you ask yourself, what's next?
True.
Now that you did this, what do I do? Do I do a grid 2.0, 3.0? Do I go for all these single seasons? Do I work on a project? Do I need to work on a project to make hiking fun and enjoyable? So that's when you finish, when you finish your first round, when you finish your winter, when you finish your all seasons, sometimes you're like, okay, where do I go next? And it all depends. What makes you happy? Do what makes you happy. Like my daughter, if it's rock climbing, go rock climbing. Yeah. If it's getting stuck in a cave for 6 hours, well, go get stuck in a cave for 6 hours.
Jeez. No, we don't recommend that, but
no, this is not. We're inside the line. We're not under the ground podcast.
Correct. Also, Aaron Thomas, aka AT Hikes, did Cheryl in North Dome and enjoyed the beautiful, crisp day of spring before the bloom basically happened. Also, Ascana, aka Catskill Ever After, was somewhere near Graham Mountain teaching people about the mountain lion habitat.
Mm-hmm.
So,
very interesting. Like to see that. Yeah.
Maybe we should get her as like an assistant chief to the Cats Foundation. Catamount.
Yeah, I'm sure she'd be down for that. And yeah, she's had some really interesting posts on her Instagram feed, and indoctrinating people to what will be a more and more frequent occurrence, encountering mountain lions in the Catskills. It's probably good we get a start on that now, so she's thinking ahead. We like to see that.
Jeez. And what did we start here? But you never know. I heard calls today, but didn't record it. Sorry. Also, Danny Mildly Mischievous was up on Friday, but it looked like what he took a picture and he sent me was Central Park. There was like 20 people up there. That was
on
crazy.
Friday Mountain.
Yeah,
that was the week. Yeah, that was the week before, and I think 2 big groups did the 6 on that day.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, and I don't know if you have it below, and maybe he didn't tag us, and maybe it's no longer. Well, it won't be on his Instagram feed anymore when you listen to this. But he did post, and this is why it's a good reason to follow Mildly Mischievous, because he did post on his story a video of a rather large mountain rattlesnake. Did you see that stuff?
I did. Where was that? Do you know?
I think he was over in Harriman or one of the Hudson area hiking areas where there are snakes like that. So yeah,
I was going to say, don't tell me that they're starting to progress over to freaking Friday. Like, no, I don't want that shit.
Yeah, I've run into plenty of snakes on Friday myself.
The rattlesnakes.
No, not rattlesnakes.
Okay.
but,
Okay.
yeah.
Like that's the one
Yeah,
thing.
but
It's just
snakes do like it because there is a lot of sun exposure on the one side of Friday
crazy.
where the slide came down.
Oh yeah. The northern side, northwest, eastern. Yes.
Yeah.
Crazy. And he was also with Joanne Beyond Blazes. She was up on Friday as well. The picture is amazing. It's just amazing. Once again, like 2 weeks ago was like the greenery was coming up, was approaching up the mountains.
Yeah.
And today was a whole different story. It's all green now. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Amazing. Catskill Mountain Hiker was with one of the groups, and he did the 6 as well. So everybody was up on Friday and did the 6 on that one day. Apparently, I mean, it was a good day to do it, right?
Yeah, I was actually up there myself.
Jesus. What did you do? Like the 18?
No, I just did the 6 from Denning. It was a great day. It was a fantastic day to do the 6. It wasn't too warm. It wasn't cold.
Did you see anybody or no?
Well, yeah, now that you remind me. So I was heading from Balsam Cap towards Rocky. I'm going to say it was somewhere around noonish. I ran into, coming in the other direction, that fellow Brian. I think it's Brian Hikes All Day.
Yeah.
He's the one that posts those really crazy videos hiking the slides up in the Adirondacks. So it was him, I understand it to be his girlfriend. This other woman sees to summit. I forget her first name offhand. This fellow Jeff, Sonia and Jeff. I see his posts all the time. I never have met him before. Really cool person. Thomas First. I don't know if you know him. Thomas First did the 115 highest in the Northeast or whatever that list is. The guy hikes all over the place. If you like photos of birds, he's got a lot of bird shots on his Instagram feed. Cool guy. Again, I'd never met him before. So there's 3 people that I had never met before, 4 people that I had never met before, all in the same group. And then at the tail end was Cool Sarah, who I forget how many so far, but she every month for the past 50 to 60 months has hiked the Catskill 9.
Sarah Zhang.
Yes. So she was bringing up the rear of that group. So yeah, all very accomplished hikers. Then I guess if you want me to talk about that hike, I want it, you're reminding me, I didn't write it down in my notes, but I also saw as I was coming up Lone Mountain, I ran into this guy named Anthony from Brooklyn. Younger guy, I'm going to say he was in his 20s. It was his first time hiking in the backwoods, his first time then hiking in the Catskills. He went out to, Lone, was on his way to Rocky, and he was wearing, this is why it sticks out in memory, he was wearing blue jeans, authentic blue jeans, couple gold chains. Wow. Yeah, I'm not sure if he was hiking or going to the club, but yeah, Anthony out there. So I ran into a bunch of cool people, hiked the 6. I haven't done it every month for the past 60 months, but I've hiked the 6 quite a bit. I enjoy that hike. And so did all of those people you've mentioned so far.
Yeah.
So that's part of my recent hikes is the 6 2 weeks ago. That's how long it's been. I even forgot I did that 2 weeks ago.
So you don't have it here on the show notes. We want to bring it up later. So remember that. Also, Mike at Red Hand Adventure Guides is a steward at Balsam Lake and hopes to meet people up there. And he was out there on a very windy day. Ted, I'm pretty sure you were up there the same day. So very windy day. But Mike, if you go up to Balsam Lake Mountain, he's a steward up there. Tall guy, has a hat on. Check him out. Say hi. Shake his hand. Tell him that the podcast is the most horrible thing you've ever listened to in your life. And let's see the look on his face. I want to see the look. You got to take it, video, record it. It'll be great. So also, Lisa hikes mountains, enjoyed the Burroughs Range on a spectacular day, and also did Lone, Rocky, and Table and Peekamoose. So everybody was over on the bushwhack areas over there in the 6th region. Nicholas Golden Money Cat convinced his wife to do Hunter, and that's a good one to do, but it's also that's a long one to convince somebody to do. Yeah, let's go do a fire tower. You can do Balsam Lake Mountain, which is 6 miles, or you can do Hunter Mountain, which is 7 to 8 miles with a little bit more gain. So Hunter's got a great view. So So Sonia and Jeff, aka S and J Hike All Day, met Tad somewhere. So that sounded like the previous story that you were
Yep, there
talking
you
about.
go. Yeah, I didn't see that on the
Cool,
list.
cool.
Yeah. Again, Jeff, super cool guy. His wife wasn't with him, but it was fun running into him and all those other people on the trail or off the trail.
Off the
on the
herd path.
Yeah.
On the, what is it called again? What do they call it?
They call them herd paths, social trails,
Social media trails.
Yeah. Or the unmarked trails.
Crazy. Jason, aka Jacob Plow, did Snake Hill Newburgh to work on his New York's downstater list, and he also, I forgot to add this, he did like Black Rock and something else down with his New York State 28er list. I'm sorry, Joe, that I got this wrong, but I'm trying to, once again, I'm trying, everybody. Please stop yelling at me.
Yeah, we're still amateurs at this, so.
And sometimes when I try to add their stories, it doesn't. Well, now it works. Of course, Black Rock Forest. Like I used to, Eagle Cliff. He did Eagle Cliff. I could sometimes I go to add their stories to my story, and it doesn't work. Like it just says, "Sorry, this doesn't work." So, but
maybe it's because they have a restricted account.
They're too cool for school, I guess.
Yeah.
But also, hiker Joey NY went on his 6 for Moonhaul to Peekamoose Road and making a good stat, saying that 65% of the initial vertical is done and doing Friday. So very good statistic right there, Joe. Mm-hmm. That's awesome. I got to admit that it pretty much is when you're going through that, up that area, freaking going up 2,800 feet of vertical gain.
Yeah. I don't know what the gain is offhand, but you definitely buy a lot of that right from the parking area on Moonhaul Road.
Yeah.
You cross over the road and you start up that old Hall Road, and it's just incline all the way up to that first terrace.
Yep. So that's a great stat. And then he went on and did Red Hill, saying that 0 days are not needed. You just need chill days. So that's
hiker Joe NY. He's a machine, man. He's out there doing it all over the state.
Definitely is. Also doing it all over the state. Serena Marie, 46er. Serena did Arab, Coney and Buck Overlook, and a beautiful sunrise of Poca Moonshine, and then did Clear Pond and Grandpa Pete Mountain up in the Adirondacks. All over the place.
Yeah, sounds like a lot of hiking.
Yeah, and we have a lot of them. You know, we have also Todd, T-Bold Outdoors, was up in the Adirondacks doing J Peak and also did Black Rock Forest as well. So once again, he didn't reveal his secret of why he gets to hike so much. So he said he's not retired.
He told me he was away on a work vacation when he was out west, and when he was up in the ADK, that was a planned week off.
Nice.
So he's trying not to make us feel so bad that he gets to take all this time to go hiking, and we have to sit here and do more mundane things like work and pay taxes.
Correct. Tony, aka TJI underscore 72, was out fishing somewhere in Sullivan County. Tony always loves to post his stuff about like being near water. He's a big water guy. Like he loves the ponds, he loves the rivers and stuff like that.
Well, I guess fishing has something to do with water, you know. Go figure. God, Tad's like slapping me in the head right now. He's like, God damn, if we had this in person. Yeah, no, it's it's obvious you had a week off because you're not.
There's no water out there. Well, there is water out there actually. There's no ponds. So
we're in Sullivan County or out west.
Out west, there was a lot of water actually. Tracy Pink Pony 18 went from Long Hill Road to Canopus Lake Overlook. So awesome to see you out, Tracy. Cam 1863 was doing trail maintenance on a rainy day. Thank you very much for volunteering, Cam. She volunteers for the Woodstock Land Conservancy. So awesome. Thank you for volunteering. Katie Henderson Hikes was up in the Adirondacks and summited Jay Mountain. Saw Todd and Tom Hoos, I guess, as well. So they were up there having some good times.
Do they just bump into them? That's kind of crazy.
I don't. You know what?
Place.
You know what's funny? I always think of this, and I love this. And I just like all these people know each other now from the podcast. Like a lot of it know each other. Like they'll run into each other and they'll be like, Danny, Joanne, like you're Danny and Joanne. Holy shit. Holy shit, you're Tom and Todd. Like Katie was probably just like, oh, you're Tom and you're Todd. Like, holy shit. Like it's super cool.
The community, the hiking community.
The Catskill hiking community is fucking tight.
Yeah.
So it's awesome.
And we have to, because it's such a small area and we have so few peaks, we need to get along.
Exactly. Both off trail and on trail.
Yeah.
No matter what the DEC says. So the Sloth Tramps spent 4 days in Lake Lila in the Adirondacks. Cool video. I shared that as well on my story, so check that out. And last but not least, actually, there was some other person that tagged me, so make sure I didn't get that. Amy Ameskla did From the Running Kind was up on Wittenberg and Cornell. So awesome. Once again, Jay, he did. I think Jake Plow did something as well. So he tagged me just last second. No. So sorry, but I'm all out of order. So thank you, everyone. It's 2 weeks of everybody hiking. So thanks for burying that. And I thank you for tagging the show. Really appreciate it. Once again, if you think we are doing a good job, or if you just want us to crack open a hard cider here, buy us a coffee, hard cider, and buymecoffee.com. It's in the show notes. It's also on my links tree page and stuff like that. Also, if you can rate the show, do it. 5 stars usually is the best, is actually the only one that is really acceptable. So I think Tad, we're doing pretty good. 5 stars.
Yeah. Rumor has it that they're going to actually up the ratings to 6 stars because there's been such a demand to rate this podcast 6 stars. Yeah. Even Joe Rogan doesn't get that type of recognition. I just wanted to point that out.
Hell yeah. I like that. Also, so Ted, we popped open your last time being here, was your 2-year anniversary. So it was really cool to get all the people to notice what we do and stuff like that. So I'm guessing you're going to pop open a cold one now.
I have to take it out of the sock first. Right.
Oh,
over here in a sock.
Is it what is it? He just sniffed the socks, making sure that it wasn't used.
You don't need to drink the beer, you just have to sniff the sock.
Is it used? Was it man,
aged. It's like aged IPA.
What kind of sock is it?
It's a Devil's Path sock, obviously.
Nice.
I wouldn't be caught dead wearing anything else.
Tad, make sure you change your settings because I hear you good.
Yeah, okay. You want to go first while I take care of the administrative work over here?
Absolutely. All right. Okay. Nice. Good old Hudson North vanilla chai. I'm back.
That's a surprise.
Beautiful. And you have a Devil's Path IPA, correct?
Yeah, beautiful all the time. I'm telling you, this beer is so good. Devil's Path IPA by Catskill Brewing out of Livingston Manor, New York. And one of the best parts about it is the bitterness that comes at the end, the finish. It's just so good. Every time you finish a sip, that bitterness leaves you with that, I want another sip.
Nice. I had what's his name on the show previously, that he's also was the of the Catskill Mountain Club. He's like the top guy over there.
At Catskill Brewery?
Yeah. He also does Catskill Brewery. Shit.
Yeah. Well, let's get him back. I think we need an official sponsorship so I can have a endless Esopus Creek flow of Devil's Path Indian Pale Ale with that signature bitterness at the end.
I can't see you with a keg right there, and just like, instead of cracking one, you're pouring one. I mean, Tad's making the face basically like, I don't know about that. If you give it to me, I shall drink.
Yeah. My struggle this weekend, kind of going into previous hikes, was setting out to go over in part 2 of my double header was Vlaai and Bearpen. I was so tempted along the way to stop and pick up a can of beer for a Summit Brew over there. I don't know how I resisted the urge to do that, but I did.
I can't see you doing that. No shit.
There's
Well,
nothing
that's
better. There's nothing better than a brew at the top of a mountain, man.
God damn. Tad's transforming into another person. I love it.
Into an alcoholic.
Oh no, not at
No,
all.
I'm
Not you.
just
Not
kidding.
you. Not you. So speaking about previous hikes, what were you up to, my friend? I have heard you had some interesting days in the Catskills.
Yeah. So as I said 2 weeks ago, I went out and did the six. The six is probably one of my favorite hikes in the Catskills. You can start it in a variety of different ways, and so I started this one in Denning early in the morning. That walk up the Fisherman's Path is delightful with the sun, rising in front of you and shining through the hemlock groves as you go upstream, and then you get to the beaver dam area and just keep going to where there's the fork in the east branch of the Neversink, and then you just head up what I'll call the backside of Friday and did the loop. As I said, the first group of people I ran into was the group with Jeff and Thomas and Brian and Sarah and I think Kate et al. So that was a great hike. Perfect weather for it. And then this past weekend, all week long they were forecasting for 3 days of rain, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And I couldn't hike on Saturday because Mrs. and I had a wedding to go to. Turned out to be a great wedding. Had a lot of fun there. But I wasn't, got home late, wasn't planning on hiking on Saturday. I woke up early at 5 a.m. And next thing you know, I'm checking the color radar. Although it's raining outside, I'm looking at color radar, and you're looking at the path of the storm heading to the northeast. And you can see that the color radar, the way it's tracking, is somewhere between 8 and 9 o'clock. It looks like it's no longer going to be raining in the Catskills. So I decided to put together a hike. I looked at my grid list and picked a couple mountains to go up and do. Jumped in the Jeep around 7:30. It rained. All the way up there, driving down Frost Valley Road. The wipers were still on. Rain was still coming down. Got to the hairpin turn, and I pulled into the lot. There was 4 other cars there. They all turned out to be campers that had camped up there overnight, and it rained a lot overnight up there. But I banged out Giant Ledge. I know Stosh and I have previously talked about this. Is it Giant Ledge or Giant's Ledge?
Giant's Ledge.
Giants, because there's more than one giant. There's Giant's Ledge. No, but so as I'm signing into the register, which I almost always do, it says right on the register log, Giants with an S, not with
No
an apostrophe.
way.
Yeah. I got a photo. I'm going to send it to you because I know you would find that interesting.
Dude, it has like Giant Ledge parking, Giant Ledge, Panther, and then it says on the registry, Giant's Ledge.
Yeah. But I was also, as I'm walking up to the register, I'm looking at the what do you call it? The kiosk, the bulletin board.
The one that got knocked down that we were going to rebuild.
Because it took them so long to put it back up. And I thought to myself as I'm walking towards that, and it's just like moderately raining, just a really, really light rain, but I had my rain jacket on, that if it took them so long to just prop that thing back up again, what business does the DEC have putting gates around Catskill Falls? Right? Because when when a tree falls on one of them, which will happen, are they going to take a year to fix it? So, all right. So moving along.
That's a trigger.
Yeah. So before I reach the trail junction, going over to Giant's Ledge or down to Woodland Valley, I ran into a hiking couple, or not a hiking, a backpacking couple on their way down. And you could tell from the look on their face that it was a long, wet night for them. And I had a brief chat with them, but they were so gung-ho to head over to the Phoenicia Diner and get a hot breakfast. So I let them go on their way. Then I ran into a solo hiker further up the trail, made my way over towards climbing up Giant's Ledge. And that's when the wind really started to kick in and blowing the rain off the trees. But I went the whole way out. Was
it at the call that it started blowing like crazy?
It was before the call. This is before I did my ascent.
Oh, yes. You did that
Giant
video.
Up Giant. ledge. I didn't make it quite over to Giant's Ledge. That's apparently further on someplace. But yeah, so then once you get up to the kind of almost like the plateau or terrace summit of Giant Ledge, yeah, the wind was really whipping through. You were definitely at the lower elevation of the cloud cover because there was no view to be seen along the way, but the trees were whipping. It was kind of fun and interesting. Made it out to Panther, got to Panther, went beyond the official summit a little bit to the other side because it's very cool the further you go out on that trail. Then I doubled back. I guess one of the things I'll point out while I'm remembering it is on my drive over, the whole way over, I was contemplating whether or not I should bring like earphones to listen to music on this hike because I've never done that before. And I see people do it. And it's kind of like intriguing to me to do or not do that. And I decided against it in large part because I think it just confines your perceptions and you become less in tune with your surroundings. And it just sets up a barrier to your interfacing with the totality of the environment around you. And it was the right call to make because throughout the day, including when I went over to Bear Pen and then Vly and the wind started to subside, you went from just hearing that wind gusting and ripping around the mountains to as the storm had passed over and the wind settles down, then the birds come out and they start singing, right? Because they've been held up all morning in their nests and not going out. And then when the rain goes through, they come out and they all start singing. And I think that was part of one of the cool things of not wearing headphones up there. So at any rate, one of my observations on Giant Ledge and Panther is given all the trail traffic we've probably seen over there so far this year, I literally stopped picking up trail trash because I just had so much. And really? So I'm on the way down and I have my capacity to pick up more trail trash is now full. There's no more vacancy in my trail trash bag. But I did come across, I didn't see this on the way up, but I did come across a men's large white shirt on the side of the trail. I don't know why I didn't see it on my way up, but I saw it on the way down. So I decided I'm picking this thing up and hiking it out, which I did. But again, there's a lot of trail trash over there. So everybody, pitch in, do your part, take 5 at least when you can. And so after I did the Giant Ledge and Panther, as I said, I headed over to Bear Pen and Vly as part of Grid 2.0 duty. I considered getting a beer or not getting a beer on the way over. I'm not sure exactly why I didn't, because it frankly would have been fun just to hang out on the summit of Bear Pen and drink a beer. And maybe it's because I did Bear Pen first that it opted to not bring the beer, because I'm not sure how much fun drinking a beer on top of Vly would have been. So I ripped out those two. I will say the last 3 times I've done Vly and Bear Pen, I've run into people using those side-by-sides.
Really?
Road, yeah. This time I saw 3 different side-by-sides going up or down what I'm going to say is the freshly graded, I think they call it Road 3 or Road something.
Yeah, Route 3.
Yeah. But Bear Pen and Vly were the same as they ever were, just a little wet. One of my takeaways from from Vly, which I thought was interesting, of all the forests that you walk through in the Catskills on what I'm going to call as a trail, it's a pretty cool forest, man. There's not a lot of low ground cover or growth. The trees are all relatively healthy going through there. So it's a decent forest going through there, and I enjoyed it tremendously, even though it's my 1 zillionth time up and down Vly. It's a quick and easy hike, man. I banged it out so fast. I forget how long it took me. My for whatever reason, my Garmin stopped recording.
It's illegal. No, it wasn't completed.
Yeah, nah, yeah. I have photographic evidence. So and with that trail report, I'm having a little devil's path.
Nice. No, I mean, you talk about Vly. Vly has like different forest than most others because it doesn't have the pygmy forest like Graham does, but it has a smaller forest, so it gets a little bit more sun. So the ground covers like a lot of ferns, a lot of other stuff like that, and it's nice. I gotta admit, it's like one of those. It's a different forest than the other ones.
Yeah. Well, they're all, I mean, Mike Kudish will tell you that there's a lot of variation in these Catskill mountaintops. And my sense of Vly is the summit of Vly is characterized by more earth than rock. And
True.
so you get more hardwood growth with that because the hardwoods need more water and more root depth. So I think that's why Vly is the way it is at the top. And you also see that on Bear Pen as well. It's got a lot of soil on top and you have a lot of hardwoods on top.
Yeah. It's got a definitely nice forest. I like the forest on Bear Pen. So
Yeah, I was actually up there one time a couple years ago with Mike Kudish mapping out old growth. And he was, I think, 80 at the time, 81 at the time, man. What a hardy person, man, to hike up there bushwhacking.
Yeah, definitely.
Very cool experience.
Cool. Nice. So you were out and about.
So what about you? Any recent Catskill hikes?
Yes. So today I was able to get out. Unfortunately, my buddy Alex, Vertical Madness, had a cold, so I couldn't work with him today. So we were going to go out disc golfing. So I decided that I was just going to do some easy hike going up Wyndham High Peak. And I haven't been up Wyndham High Peak in a while. Like it's been, I mean, I went up there, I bushwhacked up there and then did the trail mostly near the summit and then exited off of the call over there by no, that was previously, but I haven't done the trail from Peck Road up there in a very long time. Last time I did it a while ago was with Jessica in the winter. So, and then before that, I forgot when I did that. I broke trail in 3 feet of snow, which was horrible. I got it to the lean-to and back. So it's the first time in a very long time that I've gotten to do Wyndham High Peak in the spring, summertime. And, the beginning of the hike is you're going up kind of like an old woods road and stuff.
Do you stay on the old woods road? Because the trail actually goes off to the left.
It goes off to the left. Somewhat. I saw that.
And it goes, this is all mountain biking territory over there.
So I saw that and I second guessed myself. I walked like 100 feet on that trail. I'm like, wait a minute, this doesn't feel right. The last time I was on this trail, I went up the woods road. So I doubled back and I did go up the woods road, and there still are yellow markers that say foot trail. The other ones just say trail. So I'm not on the maps. It shows both. So I'm just like, I guess do whatever you want. The other trail looks nicer. I mean, it offers, I think, less elevation gain at the end. It does.
So when you go up the old woods road, has it been maintained or are there blow down across the trail?
No blowdown, but it's just mud and rock and slippery rock. So the other trail, I suggest taking a left, like you said, on that bike trail and just going along the nice trail that is actually hiker friendly. Other than slippery rock, I'm going to roll my ankle.
Yeah, truth be told, I've only done that trail one time, the kind of biker trail. Most of the times when I stay on trail going up from Peck Road, I go up the old logging trail. And I will agree, those rocks are always wet and they're slippery. So be careful if you go up I'll call it the Peck Road extension.
There you go. Nice. Nice. On the way up, I stopped at the lean-to. I met some people, a family that was doing a hike going up to Wyndham High Peak. They opted out going down to New York City for to check out a battleship or something. And they would come up here, and the girls were actually excited that they didn't have to. The guys, the dads were not. They wanted to go out and check the battleship, but it was pretty cool to see that the young ladies were
more into hiking than seeing weapons of destruction.
Correct. And then, started up the mountain, beautiful canopy, everything's dark, like turning green. There's some light green and golden here and there. But the one thing I noticed that I don't know if this has been happening, but I haven't been up there in a while. It seems that the what I call the enchanted forest is going to be gone soon. It doesn't feel like there's a lot of light coming in there. It doesn't feel like those trees are alive anymore. They're dead, and they're going to probably harvest them soon.
Yeah, but those are all spruce trees, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they were planted there, right, by the CCC.
yeah.
Yeah. So
I've hiked into that area from the just from the roadside of the Elm Ridge lean-to area.
Uh-huh.
And so I've cut through that whole forest before. It's a pretty cool forested area. I'm sorry to hear that it's not doing well.
yeah, it just seems like there's a lot of light coming through. That it still feels kind of like that enchanted forest, like it's a little bit dark and you're kind of going through Mordor or something like.
Yeah. So what's growing underneath? Is there anything popping up in the understory? Is it other spruce trees that are,
It doesn't.
taking hold, or is it beech whips or something
Beech
else?
whips.
Really? That's sad.
Yeah, and up a little bit further, you get up further, and there's with those old pastures that Mike talk about in his books that is just flat out green, beautiful green grass growing, probably full of fucking ticks. But I saw a little bit. I looked off trail, and I wanted to go off trail to see kind of what the forest was down there. So I went off trail a little bit, and there's some nice pines growing, some short pines, probably like chest height, that are growing out there. So that's pretty interesting to see.
When you say you went off trail to see what was growing down there, I'm really hearing you went to look for that plane wreck.
On Wyndham?
Yeah, like 2 or 3 years ago, that fellow that was transporting 2 adopted dogs or 3 adopted dogs. Yeah.
No, I didn't go off trail for that. I was just interested. So like I said, just everything looks so like fresh and brand new. I was just like, oh,
It's
these look
spring.
like, yeah, it's just so nice. The trilliums are dying down, and stuff. But about 3/4 of the way up, I met Ranger Fox.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that's a nice surprise. What was she doing up there?
She's just patrolling, basically. She wanted to check out the blowdown and stuff like that. And there was one tree that overtook the trail, like massive pine that was like fresh. It looked like it was young too, that just overtook the trail. So of course you couldn't hop over it because just all the limbs were still on. So you had to go around it. So she was like examining it down lower. She's like, I have to probably bring up the big saw for this. So she was doing some other trail maintenance, and at the time I caught her taking a picture of some plant, and she was checking out the plant and trying to identify what it was. And she was explaining all this plant stuff to me. I'm like, I look at her, I'm like, I have no fucking clue what you're talking about right now.
Well, did she think it was an invasive up there?
No, she just thought it was a little like, it was a little tiny white flower plant that was probably about maybe 6 inches tall and stuff. It was
Interesting.
So I seriously had no clue what she was talking about. I'm like, listen, I know like a tree here and there. I know what a beech is or something like that. I don't know. And then like 3/4 of the way in the conversation, I was like, do you know who I am? And she's just like, I have no clue. I don't remember. And I'm like, Stosh. She's like, oh my God, Stosh, I'm so sorry. And she apologized like 50 times. I was like, it's good to see you again, Ranger Fox. I only maintain a part of your area for the past 16 years. So sorry about that. But great to see her, and went on my way up the mountain. I forgot that, Wyndham offers some great steepness here and there, and some great trails here and there that, like, once again, it's like after the fire towers, that is a great initiation to the Catskill Mountains. Like, it has the roots in the enchanted forest that you could trip on and roll your ankle on. And then it has like a little tiny, tiny pitches here and there with rocks. And then it has beautiful, like, back and forth trails. And then you get to the summit, and it's beautiful views of the Hudson Valley and the Blackheads. So that's a great initiation. I've always suggested that to people. I'm like, have you done the fire towers? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, then go to Wyndham High Peak, because that is a great one.
talking of Wyndham High Peak, I haven't hiked Wyndham High Peak literally since last summer. And on my grid 2.0, it is the mountain that has been neglected the most by me. I need to get over there and start hiking it. And now that I think about that, maybe it is because the last time I hiked it, do you remember what I saw? The naked hiker.
Oh, yikes. All right. That's acceptable.
Mm-hmm. Oh, acceptable to hike naked? Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Acceptable that you've neglected it.
Obviously, you've been out in California. You have that liberated
point
God. Of view, right? Naked hiking.
We'll talk about what I saw, but yeah, beautiful. Once again, it was warm. I'm sorry to say the bugs and the flies are at it. You cannot stand still. Ranger Fox and I were trying to talk to each other while standing still, and it sucked. Like
no head nets.
No, I didn't. Not yet. I didn't need a head net. And I had it with me, and I was just like, all right. I sat at the summit, and overlooking the blackheads, and I finished my sandwich in about like 3 minutes, and I just started down the mountain because it was just no wind at all. They somewhat were biting. I think they were. I had to slap them a couple times, but the bugs are out, and it's only going to get worse within the next week or so. So we'll see.
Then it'll be over soon. With the airborne bugs. I have to say the last 2 hikes I was on, when I did the 6 and then this past weekend, it was no bugs at all. Which I found remarkable about the 6 because it was definitely bug weather on the one hand, maybe because it was off trail. There weren't that many bugs around. I don't know. The week before, though, it was head net 3 weeks ago. But thankfully, the past 2 weekends, no head net.
Yeah, well, that's good. Yeah, same here. And I enjoyed it. The greenery, once again, I was on my way and I'm just like, is this going to be depressing? Because, I don't have open summits. I don't have massive 2,000-foot waterfalls.
So why is it then that you found that you still have this fondness and being out west didn't tarnish your enthusiasm for the Catskills?
It's just the life, the getting out and seeing the green and just being so potent. And then there was a smell. I can't say that it was like it smelled like ferns. Like the ferns were growing, and there's that smell. And then about halfway up, I got my first of the season of the Bicknell, or not the Bicknell thrush, but the thrush, like was doing its little song. And that's my first that I've heard it this year because they're back. They've migrated. And that just, once again, struck me as just like, I'm back in New York and it's phenomenal. Like just the life that we have when going up these trails. There's grass, there's trees, there's, green trees. There's the green is different colors. Like looking up Blackhead, there's part of it that's still like gold. I think it's like kind of like migrating towards green. It was so cool. So cool. I still love it. I'm still in love with New York.
Bugs and all.
Bugs and all. Yes, correct. So it's a good time to get out. But yeah, that's not the big thing. So the big thing is what we're going to talk about next.
Well, I don't know, man. We spent too much time on previous hikes. I don't think we have time to do the California trip. I think that's a wrap. I think we'll just go over the last couple sponsors and call it a show.
Hey, I'm okay with that. Not really. No. I want to brag about this. This is fun.
All right, let's do it.
All right. So once again, Catskill News, volunteer, New York, New Jersey Trail Conference, 3500 Club, Catskill Mountains Crew, Catskill Trail Crew, Catskill Mountain Club, Visitor Center, Jolly Rovers Trail Crew, Blamey Mountain Fire Tower. And also, if you need stickers, get a hold of me or go to Camp Catskill in Tannersville. All right. So how about we break it into the weather forecast? Here is your weekend weather forecast, sponsored by... I ain't got anybody, sorry. This weekend looks to be a great weekend to get out and hike. So, get out there and bag those peaks. On Friday, May 29th, expect some clouds in the morning to cloudy skies in the afternoon, winds reaching up to 45 miles per hour at night, a high of 50, a low of 43, and wind chills reaching down to 32 degrees and down to 12 degrees at nighttime. On Saturday, May 30th, expect some clouds in the morning to partly cloudy skies in the afternoon, a high of 43, a low of 32, and wind chills in the morning reaching down to 16 degrees. On Sunday, expect clear skies in the morning to partly cloudy skies in the afternoon, a high of 50, a low of 43, and wind chills going down to 34 degrees. Once again, it's a great weekend to get out and hike and bag those peaks. So don't forget to be safe, be prepared, and don't become tomorrow's rescue story. Back to you, fellas. Thank you for that weather forecast. That was amazing. Phenomenal. Good job. Also, last set of sponsors, and then we'll get into the Cali trip that I had. So, discover Camp Catskill in Tannersville, your ultimate hiking store. Find top quality gear, apparel, and accessories for all your outdoor adventures. Our expert staff is here to help every hiker from beginners to seasoned pros. We also carry a variety of unique Catskill souvenir and gifts. Visit us online at campcatskill.co or in the store to gear up for your next journey. Adventure starts at Camp Catskill. Also, embark on a transformative journey with Another Summit. Another Summit is dedicated to serving veterans and first responders with free outdoor activities. Activities like walks in nature, paddling, hiking, and even backpacking. Join our supportive community to rejuvenate in nature's embrace. Experience camaraderie, adventure, and healing at no cost. Take your next step with Another Summit and ascend to new heights of resilience and joy. Apply today on anothersummit.org. All right. So how about, wait a minute, Tad, you got to say that. You got to say this.
What's that? Oh, I got to open up the computer here. Are we recording?
How about we get on to the guests of the night?
So how about it, folks? We get on to the guest of the night.
Let's go.
Introducing for you, one time only, Stosh Russin.
Thank you. Thank you. Glad to be here. It's phenomenal.
Yes. So Stosh, this is your first time on the podcast. Why don't you tell the listeners a little about yourself?
All right. So at the age of 1, I climbed El Capitan.
In a diaper.
In a diaper. No.
Were you using, what do they call it when the thing you suck on as a kid? What are those called? I forget. It's been so long. Oh. Pacifier. Were you using a pacifier? I don't think so. Okay, moving along. Why don't you bring us up to the present time? You found yourself married and planning a trip to California. Let's start the story there. How did this trip come about?
So my cousin Ashley invited us to her wedding. Now, 9 years before that, we went to her sister's wedding in Cali, and then we drove across to Sedona and camped in Sedona for 4 days. So we were like, okay, so we're going out to Cali. Let's make this an adventure. And like, I mean, I think it's just me and Jessica that say this. Instead of vacation, it's adventure, because vacation is more of like chilling, doing stuff on the beach, having a low key time. This wasn't it. This wasn't chilling at all. By all means, I will tell you this later. It was not chilling at all. This was just straight out fucking hitting point by point, time by time, got to wake up early, stuff like that. So she invited us, and we went out because it was Ashley and Alberto's wedding. It was great, phenomenal time. This was out in Temecula. We flew from Albany to Charlotte to San Diego, rented a car, and then went to a beach. We had to get to the Pacific coast. It's always, you got to do that.
So it's one of those beach weddings, or this was just, we want to go to the coast and
we just want to touch the coast. We just want to, they have some killer waves, and we saw a guy walking by me. He's like, those waves, like, seriously, this is how I see Cali. Those waves are rad, man. And I'm just like, yeah, they are. We don't have these waves over in the East Coast. We have like 3-foot waves, and he's wearing a wetsuit. So a lot of people like don't understand that the West Coast water is always cold. It's seriously just always below like 65 degrees, I believe. Like, and we get up to like 80s down in the East Coast.
And you know why that is?
Because we don't have the Baltic Sea, right?
Well, we have the Gulf Stream. That's what we have.
That's what it is? Okay.
Yeah, and that's where we have the hurricanes.
Yeah, true. Okay, because it warms up and stuff. Like, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
I used to basically live on a sailboat. So, all right, moving
Yeah,
along
that's
to
true.
you're on the West Coast. You're hanging out. You got your rental car. Some guy goes by on a wetsuit. What happens next? Where you guys go from there?
So we have to go like an hour and a half away to Temecula, which is like in between Anaheim and San Diego. So
Okay.
city, it's a city. What sucks is an hour and a half away, but in travel time it was 2 hours and 45 minutes because of traffic. It sucked. Fucking I hate to say, Cali drivers never use their fucking blinkers, number one. And number two, they don't know how to merge. Like, every goddamn slow part was just because of merging traffic. And I'm like, we had a Mitsubishi Mirage, I think it was. A Mitsubishi Mirage. So it's like a little high-end, low-end SUV, smaller SUV. And I'm just like, getting all pissed off, and I'm kind of like,
Was that like the dual turbo? Did it have a lot of pickup? Did he
oh,
up and go?
dude, the amount of Teslas out there, I was just like, I really wish I could just punch this and freaking go past all these people.
Yeah.
But it takes like 10 seconds for that thing to engage into actual speed. It was hilarious.
Frustrating. That and the different driving culture, the lack of acceleration.
Dude,
the
there's
traffic
6
congestion.
lanes. Six
Wow.
fucking
Wow.
lanes, and their low speed is 70 miles an hour. Like, how are people doing fucking 14 miles an hour when like
That's
you could
painful.
it was horrible. So 2 hours and 30 minutes. Jessica and I get to the hotel, and we went to this hotel before. It was Holiday Inn Express, and it's nice. The Holiday Inn Express, they had just everything was comfortable. So we went there again, and then my whole family goes there. So we have the whole family goes there. And the one thing that I tell the family is, it's funny because I saw this as a meme, and I say, we do not go to the same places to eat as we have where we stay, like where we live. And they didn't understand that. They were like, oh, so how about we go to Texas Roadhouse? And I'm like, no. Like, we're going to local places. So I found a Mexican restaurant, and they're like, no, we're going to go to Applebee's. I'm like, fuck this. Like, Applebee's.
You're basically in Southern California, and you want to go to a local non-national brand Mexican restaurant. What's wrong with that?
Oh, dude, it was so good. It was so good. Hole in the wall place on a plaza, sitting on the thing.
So how did you come up with the name of the joint? Just Googling, or was it a recommendation? Googling, cool.
Mexican restaurants, and then
was it just you and Jessica, or did you convince other family members to join in?
No, my other family members. Like,
how were the margaritas?
We didn't have one.
Really?
Tad,
wow.
So to be honest, since the wedding, which was Friday, this is my first drink.
Wow.
Since last Friday.
Dry spell.
So we eat Mexican, we sleep, and the next day is the wedding. The wedding was phenomenal. So much fun. So I don't know if I sent you that thing, but there's champagne hour, and you went up and you rang a bell, and there was this big wall of like green, and they stuck their hand out and gave you a champagne. It's so weird. And I must have.
Is that like a California or West Coast thing? Like
I seriously was just like, what the hell is this?
So how many glasses of champagne did you have?
3.
Really?
Yeah. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. But then the wedding kind of started, and the lady at the bar says it's an open bar. And I'm like, oh, here we go.
So there was drinking. There was drinking before the wedding started.
Oh yeah.
That's interesting. Okay.
That's what I said, and I was just like, and I don't know if you're.
Was there any hooting? Was there any hooting and hollering during the wedding then?
No, not really.
Okay. All right. So they say their vows.
Yes, it was a great, beautiful wedding. This was in a winery, of course, and over in California. Beautiful place, kind of like in a notch area with an overview of a mountain that I'm just eyeballing every fucking 5 seconds because it has all these awesome boulders on it. It's open. I see trails up it, and I'm just like, every time I look around, I'm just like, I'm like, I wonder if I can hike that tomorrow. It's like, Jessica's like, stop. And I'm just like, sorry. It is what it is. Let me go. But then we go back, and it's happy hour or whatever they call it. And not saying I pounded down a lot of drinks. I did. So she was a smart bartender. She had like margaritas, spicy margaritas, and Jack and Dr. Peppers lined up. Like, didn't have them. Like, she didn't have to make them. Like, they were just sitting there. So I wouldn't say one after the other, but they were watered down, so it didn't really have that.
So I take it you were drinking the Jack.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was good. I don't like Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, you're not a margarita guy.
I am at times, but I'm more like a soda kind of guy. But it was great, just like you. Like you said, you went to that wedding. We had a fantastic time. It was beautiful. I was dancing my ass off. Like I was sweating.
Stand up and prove it. I want to see if you have an ass. 'Cause if you don't, then I'll believe you.
That's true. Actually, don't have an ass, but it was a fantastic wedding. And during that wedding, at the times I was seriously looking up places to hike. Like it was so bad. Like I was just like, God damn, I feel bad. But Ashley and Alberto was great wedding, fantastic family. Like everybody was happy, everybody was enjoying their time. My nephew Shane was his first flight out, like his flight ever, and he came out to Cali, and it was just great to hang out with him and just fantastic time. And then after the wedding, our next day was like kind of like family time. They had a little with close family members were over at their house, just enjoying each other, talking, chat and stuff like that. So they also had like a taco stand over there, so they rented like people to cook some tacos and stuff like that, and a great time. And then that was like family time, and then Jessica and I had to pack up to go to Sequoia and Kings. So our plan was, what was it? Fly out, and then the next day was the wedding. Then the next day was family day, and then the next day was to go out to Three Rivers, which is right outside of Sequoia and Kings Canyon. We rented an Airbnb out there.
So I've never heard of this place, Three Rivers. What's the deal with Three Rivers? Why would anybody go there?
It's just a small little place right outside the Sequoia Kings. It's like the last town sitting right out of Sequoia. So it's a nice little town, small town, has prices are pretty high. Like Jessica and I spent a good amount of money on groceries for 3 days because they can do that because they're the last town within probably 30, 40 miles of a city.
So are you saying that when and if I ever go to Three Rivers to buy my groceries before I get there?
I would say yes.
Okay.
Yes. I mean, it's the same stuff, but yes, I would say so.
And then you spend 2 or 3 nights at the Airbnb.
Yeah, dude. So Jessica and I are not fancy. So this was, I wouldn't say a low end Airbnb, but it was typical. We were going to sleep there. That's it.
Yeah. You're talking to a guy whose daughter lives in the back of her car. Okay.
True.
So for the most part. All right.
And you did that as well out in California, right? You kind of,
I had a tent, that was my idea of roughing it, was a little camping tent. So you guys are in the Airbnb. Was it up to your standards?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Beautiful view of some mountains in the background, not high mountains, but sunset was right there.
Yeah.
Just absolutely phenomenal.
So, and you picked Three Rivers because of its proximity to the Sequoias and Kings Canyon.
Correct. And
okay.
And
just continue.
So just to let you know, the proximity isn't really proximity, I would say. So going up to the Sequoia Kings Canyon from Three Rivers still takes an hour and a half to get up. So the reason why is because it is a massive, like, twisty, turny road that goes from, I'm pretty sure, like 3,000 feet to 7,000 feet.
But it's paved.
It's paved.
2-lane paved road.
Correct.
And do you have the traffic? Is it like when you're heading out from Three Rivers in the morning to go see the Sequoias? Is it a lot of traffic? Is it light traffic? What's the traffic like?
Well, so once again, it's 24 miles that takes an hour and 15 minutes to get up. 24 miles.
Well, is that because of the traffic or because you're obeying the speed limit?
You're obeying the speed limit and everything is twisty turny.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, something fell. Twisty turny, uppity up. So
Gotcha.
it's never a straightaway. It's seriously just twisty turny.
If you get behind the guy in the loaded up camper with like towing a vehicle behind it, who's going up this incline 10 miles an hour, you're stuck behind him the whole way.
There are very many signs that say if you are slower, pull over.
Mm-hmm.
And there's very many little pullouts that you can do. So
Okay.
it's usually like five car lengths.
So it's like Route 23 coming up through the cove.
Yes, correct.
I got
Correct.
You. But it's much longer. It's like 3 times the distance.
Oh yeah, 24 miles with an hour and 15 minutes it feels so slow, but you gain so much that it's crazy to see the differences.
And it's undeveloped the whole way.
Yeah, nothing. Okay. I was just like right after you get in the Sequoia National Forest Park, which we never had to pay because we were never over 8 o'clock. We were always under 7 o'clock. We tried to get there as early as we can because we knew it was going to be crazy. Was
Jessica down for that? Is she an early riser and in the car early? No. So were you like the drill sergeant at the Airbnb? We're getting into the inside domestic stuff here, listeners. Okay.
It really is.
Were you like the annoying spouse on this trip?
I was trying not to be.
Mm-hmm. But you were chomping at the bit to get in the car and enjoy every second as you could in the sequoias. And was Jessica just like, dilly-dallying around and double checking this and that? And you're like, come on.
Somewhat. She was really good. Jessica was really good at getting out early. Yes, she was. Mm-hmm. And she understood because she knew that these places, once again, that we were going were popular. We had very limited time. And
so to go to the sequoias, did you need like a permit or reservation, or is it just first come, first served?
It's first come, first serve, which is,
and so
I think that's always been like that though.
Yeah. So when you get there, you park in a parking lot, a big parking lot.
Semi big, yeah. So, I mean, our first day, we went up to Morro Rock, which is, I forgot, like a mile long with 300 feet of elevation gain. And you come out on top of, you go in between different rocks, and you come out on top on this big, giant rock that has 2,000 foot drops on both sides with a railing. And it's just stunning views of the eastern or southern Sierra Nevadas, and then overlooking the valley of, I forgot what valley that is, but
but so you're on the west side of the Sierra Nevadas.
Eastern. Well, southern. Sorry.
Okay, but you're looking generally to the east, to the Sierra Nevadas. You didn't cross through them. Okay.
No.
So how's Jessica with being, the hike in and being on this big Morro Rock and the 1,000+ foot drop off? She okay with that?
Not at all. She did like a quarter of it and then was just like, have fun.
Oh, really? And she let you go on?
She did. She did a lot, and she did a lot of let me go on.
Yeah. Spouse of the Year awards going out to Jessica. Okay.
Jessica is a very social person, and she talked with a lot of people. Like when I came back down from Morro Rock, she was already chatting with like a woman who had let her husband go up top as well, an older lady. And she was just chatting away and just, she's a very good social person and she's very nice. And Jessica just loves, I don't know why, but she loves like offering pictures of other people. Like when we're at a viewpoint and she's like, you want me to take your picture? And they're like, oh, please. She's just very, very loving person.
And then she plugs in her pirate card into their phone and steals their data. That's very cool. Okay.
I told her that. I'm like, you should probably charge people for these pictures.
I tell people all the time, I'm charging you $25 for this if you want your data back. So you get to Morro Rock. What's it like up there? Is there a lot of people up there? There's a railing, so it's an improved area. But so what's your sense when you get up there? Is it worth the effort? Is it worth the hype? Tell us about it.
Over to the left on Morro Rock is the high Sierra peaks. Like there's Mount Silliman, which is like 12,000 feet. They're all covered in snow. and it's absolutely stunning. Off to the right is the valley, and it leads to like 6 to 3,000 foot peaks, and it's just absolutely stunning. And I suggest it's seriously easy. It's like a mile total long with 350 feet of gain.
So it's a short hike, big payoff, and
get there early.
Well, that's what I want to ask is, so you get up there, it's a short hike, big payoff. Is it overcrowded up there?
Nope.
Is it no? So what, you're up there early in the day. How many people are already up there when you get up there?
There was 2 people at the top.
Really? Oh, that's great. So you almost had it to yourself.
The parking area has probably like 15 parking spots.
15?
Yeah.
Wow. So,
have you ever seen the like videos? Like everybody does the videos on this. Like it's insane.
I've never heard of it until now. Morrow Rock.
It's super cool. So now that you said it, it's probably going to be on your phone. You're going to see it on Instagram. So
yeah.
And then,
did you get a t-shirt? Did you get a t-shirt?
No, not at all. I don't do that crap.
Okay.
The funny thing is we bypassed the famous tunnel log where you can drive through the Sequoia.
To get to Morrow Rock, you passed that?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's like off to your left. And somebody not somebody said it, but Jessica said it, like, is there a tunnel log like we can drive through? I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, we totally missed that. So,
and you didn't double back on the way down and do that?
No, we turned around, we reversed course and went up to the General Sherman tree.
Okay. So tell us about that.
So the parking was actually, like, once again, we got there early, and it was a Wednesday. Pretty sure. Yeah. Wednesday. So, no, wait, it was a Monday. So once again, like, parking is very good. It was, it's still limited. Like, there's 3 tiers of parking, and one of them is RV parking. So they take up a lot of spots. So we got in the second tier and we like sprinted down, and we're thankful this is a national park. They have, once again, there's a lot of vaults all over the place. Like there's a lot of places to poop and pee. So that's good. So there's no shit left on the trail and stuff like that. It's actually very well kept trails. And we make our way down to General Sherman. It's the General Sherman. It's gated off. It's awesome. It's cool. But, yeah.
So do you know where the name comes from?
Isn't it like
William Tecumseh Sherman from the Civil War? Is that who it's named after?
Tecumseh, as in, like, there's a peak up in New Hampshire named Tecumseh, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. What war was that?
Civil War. William Tecumseh Sherman, famous general during the Civil War. Do you know what he's famous for?
No.
Blowing up everything in his path through the South. Okay, check it out. That's who the guy is. All right.
Well, then.
Yeah.
It's good way or bad way?
It's kind of a way of rubbing it into the Southerns, the salt into the wounds, here we. So what's the tree like? So this is your first time to see these sequoias.
Oh,
what is I'll let me just get this out there.
Yeah.
I have absolutely zero ambition in my lifetime to go to any one of these, I'm going to call them touriste national parks, because they're just not out there enough for me. Okay,
dude, it's
you're talking to a guy who spent 8 days in Death Valley with his daughter, and during the course of 8 days and almost 900 miles, I don't think we saw a half dozen people. Okay, that's my idea of going away. But the only thing I would go to do and see is the sequoias. That's the only thing. Right.
When you hit,
what's it like to walk up to these trees?
Well, that's not even the beginning of it. When you're driving up, you start hitting the sequoias. Like, we're not talking about like the massive ones, but you start seeing them, and they're only at a certain.
But they're bigger than the trees in the Catskills.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So what's that? What's that like? Are you like trying to keep your eyes on the road, but looking to your left and right? Is Jessica like telling you watch where you're going as you're driving up this windy, twisty road? Is she looking one way, you're looking the other, and next thing you know, you feel your rental car hitting the guardrail?
There's no guardrails. No guardrails at all. So
the plunge. Okay.
Once you hit a certain elevation, sequoias can only grow, I think it's like 5,500 to 7,000 feet. And you hit this elevation and they start appearing on the side of the road. And you are mesmerized by this. Like, you're looking up through the car, like the windshield, and you're just like, holy shit, this is real. Yeah. And like, I know this sounds weird, but there was some sort of emotion that I was just like, wow, these things really do exist.
Yeah, well, that's my next question. What's like the atmosphere like as you're walking amongst these trees? What's it feel like? Because we all know what it's like when you get to like the toothpick forest and the Catskills and the little balsams, or when you're going through a big majestic hemlock grove or an old forest area. They all have like this different feel and sense of like serenity, if you will. What's it like going through the sequoias?
So
is it different?
Oh yeah. So when you get past the General Sherman tree, there's a Congress trail, and it leads you on a bunch of the big sequoias where you can get off of it's a path. It's paved, but you get off the beaten path of all the tourists. And then you meet the Congress, you meet the chief sequoia, you meet, what's the house tree of where you can go inside of the tree. And just being alone with them, with the Congress, like there's a Congress part, there's the house, there's like 8 sequoias.
When you say being alone, were you guys actually alone? Jessica's with you, and is it just the two of you? There's no
just
other
the two of us
hikers. Wow, that's awesome, man.
And like, once again, there's an emotional feeling, like a deep feeling of, wow, this exists, and I am looking at this like there's no other thing like this in the world, and I'm here. And just like you can actually touch the trees, and they feel different. They're not hard.
Did you like carve your and Jessica's initials?
Dude, people did that. Like, really? It's fucking ridiculous.
Wow.
Like, and there's like one of the trees, like I had several pictures of when I like hugged a tree. The feeling, it's like soft. It's like you knock on it.
Soft.
Yeah, you knock on it, you can't hear anything. It's like it's just it's a whole nother world. Like,
so you're on a paved trail. You're walking amongst these huge trees. What's the sound like? You hear birds in the background? Do you hear the wind? What's the other sensory perceptions? Is it a strong wind?
There's a little wind. Like we had to, of course, throw on the Helly Hansons. Like it was a little bit colder because we're up at 7,000 feet. Once again, that's really crazy to think that you're up 7,000 feet from 3,000 feet. It's just crazy. But just kind of like the stillness, like it's not the remoteness, but still, like you just feel something. And I don't know what it was. And like, it's just the emotion. Like once again, like I had a deep emotion. Like I was almost like,
did you cry?
I almost did.
Really?
Like,
wow. What about Jessica? Was she like overtaken by this? Yeah.
She was overtaken. This is like a lifelong fantasy of hers. And like to see the General Sherman, she's like, and then you go further and you can actually like touch the trees. You can walk around them. And there was this one part of where the pavement stopped. And I'm like, listen, I'm a professional bushwhacker. Let's go check this out. And we get beyond this paved area, and there's these trees that are still labeled that are like, God, I forgot what one of them is called, the house tree. So you can go underneath and go up in it. And you look up, and it was once overtaken by a fire, but it's still living. Like these 2,000, like to say that 2,000-year-old trees, 2,000. Like I know that we stand on glacier, like former glacier areas of 17,000 years. We stand on a rock that's older than that, but this tree is living.
That's almost, when you say 2,000 years, I think of Mike Kudish. That's almost as old as Mike Kudish.
Right?
It's a bad joke. I'm sorry.
Right.
Like,
No. And then, once again, we go around, we meet, we see a bunch of different trees. We meet a lot of people. Jessica takes a lot of pictures of people like she offers. It's so nice. These people
Yeah.
love it. And she's very good at taking pictures. She
what,
doesn't
so
take,
what are the reactions you see from, well, first of all, these other people, are there any foreigners? Is this,
oh,
a lot of foreigners up there?
oh man. So the amount of, I'm sorry to say, the amount of Asian people
Mm-hmm.
was insane. And we tried to connect with them and talk, but they had no English was not their first language at all.
Yeah.
And at this one spot, we met these Czech people, which were really great because Jessica took their picture, and they gave us a big hug, which I was just like, I love that. I mean, the sense of love, the thankfulness.
Mm-hmm.
was great. And we chatted with the guy who is their guide, and we're just like, you go down a little bit more, you can meet Chief Sequoia and the McKinley tree, and they're just like, that's a little bit too much for these. They were older people, but once again, they were older people, 70, 80 years old.
Wow.
Getting to see this because it's paved, and the elevation we did, Jessica and I did 4 miles, kind of explored
up and back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like a loop, and then we went off trail a bunch of times to see some different trees.
Mm-hmm.
And it was only 4 miles with 350 feet of gain and loss. And we met a lot of people, but it was well worth it. And, excuse me, what was that? Channel Sherman Memorial Rock. And once again, like Tad, I know you don't like the tourist spots, but to see these sequoias, not even just driving into it, made me feel different.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, you see I love the trees in the Catskills, but these have a whole nother feeling.
Yeah. So my daughter, the outdoorsy one, we were hiking Slide Mountain one time in the winter, and the wind was blowing. And she had, as of that point in time, she had been living and going to college out on the West Coast and been all over out on the West Coast. And she made this remark that the trees on the West Coast, particularly the sequoias and the other big trees, are very majestic. And then the smaller trees on the East Coast and the Catskills are mischievous because they move around and dance in the wind.
Good point.
I thought there was an interesting comparison. Did you get that sense that these trees are just majestic kings of the forest?
Yeah, like you said, kings. It's just crazy to think that they exist, especially in United States.
Of all these trees, were any blown over?
Oh yeah.
Wow. That must be quite a sight to see one of those fallen over in the forest.
Yeah, I mean this area was, if you look it up, had fires going into it, and what they did was put that foil wrap that we have for emergency purposes. They put that all around the sequoias. So just imagine the McKinley tree is 91 feet in circumference.
Yeah.
So just imagine wrapping that 6-foot thing around 91 feet. It's just an up. They can only reach 12 feet up and stuff.
But what's there to burn in between their trees? There's no beech whips or hobble bush. Is there any ground cover in between them?
There's smaller trees that could ignite, probably some pines or something.
Mm-hmm. Well, are they the same type of trees as the sequoias?
No, not the sequoias.
Trees? No, they don't grow anymore.
I think the other trees are younger, of course, but they're not, once again, as big and as kind of, I'd say, hardy.
Yeah.
It seems like these sequoias have a thickness to be fuck you, fire.
Yeah.
I'm going to battle this.
I would suppose so if they've survived, more than 1,000 years.
2,000 years, yeah, right?
Yeah.
How many fucking forest fires has that been? And then, after that, I wanted to do the sunset. There's called the Sunset Rock.
And that's part of the same area?
Yeah, you go a little bit further down, and there's called hold on, let me look it up, Sentinel Tree, which is right off of the road. That is like the fifth biggest tree in the world, and it's just sitting there. And then I'm like, let's go over to the Sunset Rock. It's 2 mile hike with like 200 feet of gain, and it's pretty cool. You go through some giant sequoias, and then you get to the area that was hit by a wildfire in 2021. Massive destruction. Everything's gone. Just these trees are burnt to a crisp, and there's open areas everywhere. But there are an enormous amount of beautiful wildflowers growing. There is undergrowth that is just absolutely phenomenal. And Jessica is taking pictures of every wildflower that there is out there. And I'm just like, there's these patches of beautiful blue areas, pink areas of wildflowers from this destruction 5 years ago. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Beautiful overlook. It's just a big rock, big, huge granite rock that overlooks the southern part of Cali. It's very nice.
Is there a lot of other people in this area?
We met 2 people.
Really? In that whole area? Is this like the off season for seeing the sequoias? And
oh no, this is
season.
Well, it's freaking Memorial Day. We didn't even know about that. It was Memorial Day weekend. It was the Memorial Day week. Like, we had no clue, and it was just it wasn't a shit show. But after that, we met 2 people on that trail because everybody was going to the Sentinel tree, like, and then the visitor center, the museum. And nobody was.
And
just
the
like,
Sentinel tree, is that the one that you walked around? It takes like, a minute.
No, that was the McKinley tree.
Oh, okay.
24 seconds to walk around that tree, 91 feet in circumference.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Okay.
Like, what's the biggest out here? Like,
I don't know.
30 feet?
Mike Kudish would know. I have no idea.
Yeah. So
I know that Mo Lemire talks about the hemlock tree that he and Kudish believe is the largest in the Catskills.
Dude, I am taking way too long about talking about this. I'm sorry.
That's all right. You had a good time. You're talking it up.
Okay,
so you finish in the Sequoias, right? How many days did you spend there?
We spent 3 days.
3 days you did all of this.
Well, no, that was the first day.
Okay.
So the second day we did Tokapa Falls, the Lodgepole Market, which is right next door, and then Little Baldy.
Yeah. What's the deal with the Lodgepole Market? What is it, like a grocery store? What's the deal with that?
Correct. It's basically a place right in the middle of the Sequoias that you can buy like sandwiches, like, to be honest, gear.
It's like a Camp Catskills of the Sequoias.
But with
groceries. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how long has it been there? It's got to have been there a long time.
Oh yeah. It's right in the nook. It's like right in the nook, be like in between Sequoia and Kings Canyon, like right in the middle.
And everything's cheap, right? It's dirt cheap prices.
Jeez, what? Dirt cheap. God damn. Not at all.
So tell us about the waterfall. What's the deal with the waterfall? Is it like super tall? Is it one fall, 2 falls, cascading?
So my research, I look at the picture and I'm just like, oh, this is a nice, cool 50-foot waterfall. It's beautiful hike in. It's only 4.2 miles with like 600 feet of gain.
Okay. So that's 8.4 round trip.
No, the round trip. Sorry. 4.2 miles round trip.
Is it a technical?
Not at all.
In? Is it been manicured? Is it paved?
No paved
steps in. Is it paved the whole way in?
No, not paved at all.
Oh, okay. Unpaved.
Beautiful hike. Not
Jessica
really
go
any
the whole way.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
She loves waterfalls. So get to the end of the waterfall, but close beginning, you see that it's not just a like 50-foot waterfall. It's a 1,200-foot cascading waterfall.
Wow.
So like from the distance, from like probably like a quarter of a mile away, you can hear it. Yeah. Just thrushing down the mountain.
Do you feel when do you feel the ions from the waterfall?
Like that. I took a picture of it and it was like through the trees, you can see like the wind blowing. And it was just phenomenal. There was a good amount of people there, probably like 20 people there. So
20 people?
Yeah, that's a lot.
So you say that's a lot, but that's not as many as the DEC claims at Catskill Falls, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you get to the falls, a lot of people. Is there any trash along the way, or is it very well kept?
None at all.
Wow, that's great. Why do you think that
Beautiful.
is? Do they come in and clean it up, or is just people more? Because like I said, Giant Ledge and Panther, so much trail trash.
There's vaults right at the beginning of the trail. There's places to dispose.
To empty your pockets, or you can carry it home in your car.
Yeah,
Like the Catskills, but that's okay.
I seriously I'm just like, wow, this is like even just having like a porter john. Yeah, it's a pain in the ass, but it makes a huge difference. Like everybody at the beginning to the end, would go in there and do their thing and then come out. Like it's just. And then the one thing on the way back, we saw this blue jay, dark up top and blue down below, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" Like, it's like the brother of the blue jay we have out here, which is like bright up top and then blue down below. Like it was really cool to see. It was pretty neat. I was like, "What the hell is that kind of bird?" And it's God, I forgot what it's called. It's like I think it's called a cosmic blue jay. It was really
interesting.
Cool. Yeah. So
you do the falls. How long did it take you to do the fall hike? 4.2 miles.
Jessica's a little slower. Not to say that, but she takes her time, which I don't mind. Hike your own hike, It took us around like 2.5 hours, 3 hours, which it's not bad. We stuck at the falls for a little bit and listen to the cascading parts and stuff. And along the way, you're just following the creek. What is the creek? Not the Merced. But you follow that all the way up. So it's just the sound of the water all the way up. It's fantastic. Cool. So, yeah. So that was
then
great.
You hit the market for lunch.
Yes. And then I was just like, we got to hit Little Baldy. It's like 15 minutes away. Little Baldy is a round trip of 4 miles, and you hit the summit of a massive 360 foot, not massive, so it's little 360 degree view of the Sierra Nevadas, the different parts of the Sequoias. Jessica wasn't feeling well, so she only did half, but she stayed down and like had a good lunch with the marmots. They had marmots on the trail.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yes. So are they friendly, or are they beggars? They come up and beg you for food, annoy.
The squirrels were beggars. The marmots weren't. They just sat there and just stared at you. They were cool. They were cool. But on the way up, like I heard some like dark owls. Like it was a low hoot. And I was wondering what the hell it was. And then near the top, I started to hear it from one end and from the other end. I'm like, oh, these are owls hooting at each other. So it's really cool. Got to the summit. There's I think it's like a geocache, but there was like an area with a solar panel up there. So I don't know if it did weather and stuff. But in the distance, like all these couple days that we were up there, all we heard was like F-16s flying over. And I'm a crazy like guy of that. And I'm always looking up, and Jessica's like, what's wrong with you? And I'm just like, these are fucking F-16. We don't see these in New York. And then all of a sudden.
But could you feel them?
No, but you could tell the difference between an airplane and a fighter jet.
Yeah.
Like the sound, the roar of them. And I'm just like,
and how fast it moves along.
Oh, Jesus, those things were flying. I got a picture, which is crazy. And they were F-35s. They weren't F-16s. So they were the newer version. And that was like, Jessica's like, why are you obsessed? I'm like, we don't have these in New York.
So did you get buzzed by one?
They were still up. They were up high, but all day long, they were flying. I don't know if some guy said they come out of Fresno, which is lower than us, which was weird. I found weird, but they do like a lot of testing there.
Yeah. That's what my daughter and I got buzzed by that one.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, he was, I can't tell you how many 100 feet, but he was close enough that you could see the guy's goggles.
Oh no, these guys were up to where you can barely see the planes. Like we didn't get buzzed like that. No way.
He did like the, what was that?
Top Gun.
Top Gun barrel roll fly over.
Shit, that must have been something else.
Because you heard we were in a canyon, parked on a road, sitting on our chairs, eating our lunch, drinking a beer, and you could hear them coming up through the canyon. And I think it's because they have like infrared. They could tell that there was a vehicle up there, with the hot motor. And so the guy deliberately decided to just snake through the canyon, comes around a corner, sees us, and just does a 360 barrel roll right over us, flies. He's completely upside down when he goes over. And sadly, my phone was in the car. Otherwise, I would have caught it on video. But,
man, that
but that's all you hear when we were in Death Valley National Park, and particularly the further west you go, the more common it is to hear these guys out there doing their training and practicing.
But isn't it incredible though? Like you're just like, this is horrible for sound pollution. Like I want to hear nature, but then you're like, once again, like these F-35s, these freaking planes are flying at Mach 2 above you, and you're just like, wow.
Yeah. It is pretty. I'm not a military guy, but it certainly is inspirational to see those guys going by doing their things. It's like serious business on their part.
And then when I was at the summit, it's funny because I heard like some like, I don't know how to say it, like helicopter rotators, like. So I'm like looking around, I'm like looking. All of a sudden in the distance, I see a helicopter coming in. And I'm just like, oh God, is there a rescue? I'm like, this is crazy. Nope. It's a goddamn Chinook. You know what a Chinook is? Two rotators, massive helicopter flying through. Yeah. And I take a picture of it and it doesn't look military. It looks kind of like it had like red and black. And I was just like, this is weird, like Coast Guard? Like, no way Coast Guard would be up here. I never found out what it was, but it was definitely cool to see flying through the Sierra Nevadas, and it like dove down a little bit. So I was guessing it was doing like some operation or something like that, some testing. And it was just super cool. I had, once again, that summit was one of the highlights of the trip.
So Little Baldy, what's the peak elevation?
8,044 feet.
Was it windy up there?
Very little.
Yeah. Cold?
No, it's very hot. Like really? As we progressed during the week, it got hotter and hotter.
So when you say hot, was it 70s, 80s?
70s, low 70s.
Okay.
And
are you bringing the full Stosh Russian backpack with you, all 100 pounds of it, or you got the abbreviated West Coast version?
The West Coast version. So I have my med kit. Once again, there's limitations to the plane ride. So you have to get under 50 pounds. So we had to bring the below the Osprey, which is, I forgot what it is. It's my 60 liter version, which is lighter than my 44, which is insane. And I brought my Helly Hansen and my headlamps, and that's about it. So water, a lot of water. We had a lot of water, a lot of Gatorades, a lot of food, just as replenishment for, once again, the sun. There's a lot of sun and stuff. So awesome time. I actually ran down the trail. Once again, dude, the West Coast trails are pristine. There's no rocks. There's no roots. You can fly down that shit. Like, Jessica took a video of me running down the trail to the entrance of it, and I'll have to show you. Like,
Little Baldy?
Yeah. Switchbacks galore. Like, just, there's got to be at least 6 switchbacks.
Are these marked trails?
Marked. Or no, they're not, actually. You're right. They just have the path that is absolutely phenomenal.
You can tell it's so well defined, the path, they don't mark the trails.
Correct. Just once again, follow my itinerary. It's absolutely phenomenal.
So let's go to the next point. What'd you do the next day?
So we try to go to sleep. Once again, we try to sleep, but you got to wake up early. So the next day was kind of like finish the Sequoia and the Kings Canyon area, and then travel to our next area, which is Mariposa, which is Yosemite. So our first stop is Buena Vista Peak, which is basically just like Mount Baldy. Switchbacks, beautiful galore, and then you get up to this this stunning 360-degree view. And it's just, oh man, I can't. These switchbacks. I'm once again hiking Wyndham High Peak today. I must have rolled my ankle like 3 times and tripped 15 times, and then going up these areas. Once again, this was like 2.5 mile hike to get up to an open summit, and it's just absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah. So what's the elevation gain?
That was 600 feet.
Yeah. So that's not even Devil's Path caliber.
That's not even, that's not even freaking Wyndham High Peak caliber. That's not even Giant Ledge caliber.
These West Coast people are such lightweights.
Right?
They couldn't even do the Cornell crack. Okay.
Yeah. Jessica did this and she loved it. And she was.
So that was her first, 360 view of the trip, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Was that her first time in her lifetime above tree line and with the 360 view?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
now that I think of it.
Yeah, so what did she think?
She had a great time and she thought it was a phenomenal trip. Once again, this area was scarred by the wildfires. So Jessica's a redhead, a natural redhead. So once again, we had to hike to different spots under trees to keep her out of the sun. We used a lot of sunscreen and stuff.
No hat? She didn't bring a wide brim hat?
No, we should have. We were going to bring our Utah hats. She should have, but she had a regular hat, like what you and I wear most of the time.
A baseball cap. Actually,
yeah.
In the summer, I do wear a wide brim because it does make a difference.
Nice.
Yeah. So, all right. So you do that peak, and then you go General Grant Tree. That's another Civil War reference. General Grant. So tell us about General Grant Tree. Is that a sequoia?
It is. It's the 5th largest, and it's just a tourist trap. We wanted to see it.
Yeah.
I had a lot of destinations to go to within the Sequoia and Kings Canyon, but we didn't have the time. There's the bush tree. There's the O'Boyle tree, which is one of the top 5, and just didn't have the time. And
so having been out there, if you were to do this again, or if you were talking to somebody who's planning to spend some time amongst the Sequoias and in Kings Canyon, how many days would you recommend?
25.
25?
There's the road we went up is one of 8. You can reach different destinations, different sequoia groves, different just meadows that I had my map was full of stuff to do, and we didn't even do 5% of it.
So you're telling us that you had other targets listed on your map that you didn't get to because of time constraints.
Absolutely. And I didn't want to miss out on Yosemite. I was just
okay,
Yosemite is right there. It's
so let's talk about, was that your first time to Yosemite?
Absolutely. Yosemite.
Yeah, Yosemite. I think it's getting renamed to Yosemite as we speak. So did you have to get permits or make reservations to go to Yosemite?
So the permits got stopped in 2026. So no permits, which is basically what I call fucking free for all. It was.
How does that work out now with unrestricted access? What's it like?
It's like Catskill Falls, first come, first serve.
Yeah.
But Catskill Falls is nothing compared to this.
Well, yeah, but I mean, do they put a limit on it? Do they close the gate at some point, or is it like a ski area where they just keep letting people come in?
So I wouldn't say they close the gate, but they kind of restrict people from entering. They're there's no parking areas. You got to turn around, go find a different area to park. Which is
there shuttle service?
Yes. So that's a cool thing. Once you go down, Jessica and I got there at 7:18. We didn't have to pay.
In the morning.
Yeah. So we didn't have to pay we did still buy a National Park Service, was $90 for a year, just in case. We did have to use it once in the Sequoias, but in Yosemite, we didn't have to use it because we always arrived before 8. And we got a parking spot, I would say, on the last quarter edge of the village area, which is the big area that is in the middle of Yosemite. So The funny thing is, the cool thing is we park, and there's these people that park right next to us, and this kid keeps looking at me, and I'm just like, what the fuck is this kid doing? And he's like, hey, did we see you on the Topeka Falls in the Sequoia? And I'm like, no shit. I'm like, yeah, you probably did. And it's just like, and we met Isaiah and Jordan, and we hiked up the Mist Trail with them. But they have, in the middle of Yosemite, there is a purple bus that goes around kind of like the popular small areas. And then there's a green bus that goes around the wider part. So we went on the Mist Trail, which is a massive waterfall, with Vernal Falls and Nevada Falls. We only did Vernal. And Tad, if you think Catskill Falls is crazy, this is fucking insane. Like, people
How big
wise,
is it? How big is it?
the falls is only like probably like 90 feet. But I'm not talking about just the falls. I'm talking about the capacity of people.
Oh, really?
Oh, it was insane. Like, Jessica
Was it annoyingly insane?
No, because like the nature kind of blocked that. I was wowed so much that I just totally blocked out the people. But like so when you go up to the Mist Falls, there's once again, what's awesome is like halfway up, there's a vault. There's poop places, poop and pee, which people can do their business and then go
Did Jessica use one of them?
She did, of course. I had to use a woman's bathroom. The men's bathroom was closed.
Yeah.
So I walked in.
That's permitted now. We're like in a gender neutral society. So.
True.
Okay.
It should be. So we did that. And then we started to go up the Mist Trail. And once you start going up, it gains pretty significantly in elevation. Like, and they're all steps, but they're crazy different steps. It's not like every step is the same.
Yeah.
There's one that's like
the rise in pitch is different.
Absolutely. Like, it's just crazy, like funny to see people like struggling with this. And I'm just like, I'm flying up it. And Jessica joined me on half of the trip. And then like, once again, like the mist is coming down from these vernal falls. It's just splashing up against you. We had our Harley Hensons on, and there were people up there. There was kids up there with their sandals, socks, and sweatpants. No, I should have taken a picture. I was just like, you got to be fucking kidding me. And
was it cold out?
Probably low 60s.
And
So, then,
I mean, what's wrong with that? Sandals, socks, and sweatpants. I mean,
you're going to get fucking soaked.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, true. Yeah.
But if it's warm enough out on the way down, you'll dry out. You'll be okay. And you're riding on the bus. What do you care? It's not your rental car.
You got me thinking, God damn it, Tad. You're defending these kids.
So, but what I want to go back to is you said that there's so many people there, but you didn't feel like it was overcrowded. Do you think that's what the DEC can do at Catskill Falls? Just let as many people as want to go there? Because you don't feel overcrowded? I mean, you're a guy who's into solitude. You did a solo hike up Windham High Peak today.
I mean, so with the sound of the waterfalls and the mist and the like kind of the majestic feel, it kind of like blocked out all the other people. And that was a little different. But then like I went up and I got to the top of the falls by myself. And then I went back down to Jessica. And then as we were coming back down, all of a sudden, like the surge of people increased by like 20. Like there was.
This is like at 10 o'clock now, 11 o'clock. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're talking about like buses of kids, like buses of different like people that we're talking about like 50 kids on a trip.
Yeah,
70
trips.
Oh God. It was insane. And we hit it like at the right time. And I do understand why there's such a hype about it, because it's so awesome, so huge, so wide. It's like, I would say it's like Niagara Falls compacted into maybe like a 90-foot width. but like you just have that feeling of the mist coming on you. You're just like it's a wild. I said it's a wild so many times. But then when you're coming back down, you kind of realize how fucking crazy this place is. Like it's Times Square times 2. Like it was beyond that. Like
so hiking up to it in the anticipation of getting there and seeing this and all the sensory stimuli that you're getting, it really cognitively you're not aware of all the people that are
Correct.
there. And then it's when you're done with the freshness of that experience and you're returning, all of a sudden you're like, wow, look at all of these people.
Right?
Yeah. So, but with all these people coming and going to this attraction, does it degrade the feel of the natural environment around it? Do you see like evidence of people going off the beaten path or the trail trash? Does it just look like the trail capacity is being exceeded by all this foot traffic?
No.
Oh, that's okay.
And the diversity of people, the young people, and then there's old people, and then there were disabled people that could see this. Like that, what made me feel like fantastic. Like every single person could enjoy this, could feel this, could see this. And like, once again, the trail trash, very, very minimal. At the beginning of the hike, they have, once again, bins for trash and recyclables. The middle of the hike, they had that as well. Top of the hike, I don't think they had that, of course. That's a little crazy. But all in all, like, I mean, even if you're not a people person, I would do it just because you could say you did it and that it was just like I don't say I hate people, but the crowds are crazy, but it was just something else. It was that feeling.
Mm-hmm. Would you go back there?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I could go above that and go to Nevada Falls. We didn't go to Nevada Falls, which is a bigger waterfall. And it's kind of like a platform waterfall. It looks like almost like a jump, like it goes up. So we didn't go to that, but we had, once again, 2 days in fucking Yosemite. No way.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But you went to other waterfalls the first day, or was that the falls that you went to on the first day?
So we went to the Mist Trail, which was Vernal Falls, and then we went back, got something to eat at the Curry Village area. They have restaurants and stuff, which is fantastic. Trust me, it's worth it. And then we went and caught the bus to Yosemite Falls, the lower part of Yosemite Falls, which is like a half a mile long, but you can see the whole 2,500 feet of Yosemite Falls. It was, once again, like there might be a lot of people there, but it's majestic to see it. Once again, I only had 2 days. So what else are you going to do but jam pack anything and everything you can do and then get a feeling of it and then come back again to do the other stuff? That's crazy. So, and then after Yosemite Falls, we went to El Capitan and just looked at the goddamn face of 3,000 feet of just rock face vertical madness, as Alex says.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I'm hoping Sophie one day, like, can do that. And like you, me, Jessica, and your wife can go out there and watch her climb up that shit.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd go watch my daughter climb, man.
Oh, dude, it was so like we only had a limited amount of time to look at that because we had to catch the bus. But like, once again, like just seeing that, like seeing some person's tent on a ledge.
Yeah.
It's just like fucking crazy. Like, I don't know. It was just something else. And then like the bus was cool. Like, once again, that helped out with the parking and stuff. Like, Yosemite is absolutely insane. And we were riding on the bus back from El Capitan, and the guy's just like, yeah, it's pretty busy for Memorial Day. And we're like, what? And he's just like, it's a Memorial Day weekend. And we're like, Jesus Christ. And we're like, holy shit, now we know why it's crazy. And there's a certain thing, because of how popular it is, you can get text messages of when like places are full. And we got a text message at like 8:15 saying Curry Village is full, Lower Yosemite is full, El Capitan is full, all of Lower Yosemite is full. And we're like, Jesus Christ, we got lucky.
And you have no place to go after that, right? Because they're all full.
Yeah, you have to, like, there was people, like, so Jessica and I came back from the mist trail and we like kind of rejuvenated and repacked ourselves with water and stuff like that. And then like people were sitting there, like 4 or 5 people looking at us, like putting their blanket on. I'm like, dude, we're not leaving. We're not going anywhere. And they're like, so they would circle around again. I'm like,
But does that make the case for reservations? Could you imagine driving all the way to get there and there's no place for you to park and you have to turn around and go?
and like I heard I think it was like 85% of the people that go to Yosemite before this had no clue of reservation systems. So like they would go to the park and they're like, can you see your reservation? And they'd be like, I don't have a reservation. Yeah. And they would have to turn around. And
you need a reservation to go outdoors.
Yeah. Isn't that,
that doesn't sound too cool, but it kind of makes sense.
Dude, I would, with the 2 days that we were there, and then with the day that, I would say that over 100,000 people visited the Lower Yosemite Valley.
In those 2 days?
In those 2 to 3 days.
That's insane.
Like,
okay, let's talk about day 2.
So I'm sorry. So yeah,
that's all right. So here you are. So you finish up day number 1. You get like a gist of the place on day number 1. Did you change any of your plans for day number 2 after you learned?
Absolutely not.
No.
So like, once again, you get out of the parking lot of Curry Village, which is downtown Lower Yosemite, and these walls are all about you. So you're just mesmerized by these walls, and they're lit up by the sun and stuff like that. So day 2, I was just like, well, we're going to go out of Yosemite Valley and go up to the higher points and check out Glacier Point, which is like the far end of I wouldn't say the far end of like Yosemite, but it's just a different place where you can see like Half Dome, Yosemite Falls, Nevada Falls, Vernal Falls. You can see almost everything. So I'm very glad we did that, because that was like, it's very out of the way. And the people where we were staying with was our friends, and they're like, I'm like, well, if we arrive some way and we leave one way, we can't get the tunnel view. You've ever heard of the tunnel view? No. Of where you like come out of Yosemite and there's just El Capitan to the right, Half Dome to the middle, and then Brideville Falls to the right. It's something else. Jessica and I were like, we won't be able to see that because we're arriving through the tunnel, so we won't be able to come back. And she's just like, well, just hang a Yui. Like, just do a Yui and then go back through the tunnel. And we're like, really? You can do that? And she's like, who the fuck's telling you not to? I'm just like, good point. So
you're in a rental car and you're from New York, so go ahead. Send me a traffic ticket. Make my day.
Yeah, right. And that's what we did. And to be honest, because of how early we had to arrive there, tunnel view wasn't that great.
Because of the lighting?
Yes. Like, it was ahead of us. The sun was ahead of us, so it wasn't lighting anything up. Everybody does it when it's behind you, and you come in, and it's lighting the whole valley up. So we were like, all right, let's go up to Glacier Point. Go up to Glacier Point, and it's phenomenal. Very minimal people out there. Once again, we get a parking spot right up front. We're there at like 7:30. Jessica is just dying because she has to get up this early, 4 o'clock.
But I don't understand that. It's 7:30 West Coast time, so it's really her biological clock. It should be like 10:30. I'm not trashing Jessica. In fact, bring her in, call her in. Let's see. I told
her she should have joined.
Yeah. I mean, my daughter came on board when you went over our trip. I mean, Jessica should be here.
I told her she should have joined.
Yeah. So we'll do part 2 with Jessica.
Right.
So here you are. I mean, you get up early, but you kind of have like the advantage of coming from the East Coast. You get there at 7:30, you find a parking spot, and Glacier Point is uncrowded and overwhelming. Do you have to hike in to get to it, or is it just like right there at the parking lot?
It's like a quarter of a mile off.
Okay.
Once
So
again, it's great to see this all paved for
Mhm.
people to enjoy. Like disabled people could like be pushed up here.
So you're saying that Catskill Falls, they can put paving in. That's okay.
I mean, they did, right? Oh no, wait, to the platform.
I don't, look,
It's like graded stuff.
I've only been there one time, although
True.
I can't count how many times I've been up Slide Mountain, but okay.
I mean, like Glacier
Yeah.
Point, like it's something that'll stick in your mind forever.
Mhm.
And I was like, yeah, this is pretty cool. Like, I'm like, let's go to another place. So we went after Glacier Point. We went to what they call Sentinel Dome.
Mhm.
So
Now, are you getting updates now on terms of what the crowd levels are at different places?
Yeah. Lower Yosemite was full by like 7:59.
Mm.
And I get when we're up at like part of Glacier Dome or Sentinel Dome, there was like an alert that Glacial Point was full.
So is this creating kind of a competitive environment up there for people to get to spots before
Yep.
they fill up? So it's really not this laid back, low intensity, relaxing vibe. It's like, I got to get the fuck there in the next 5 minutes before
Yeah.
they fill up, and I got to go to plan B, and then plan B fills up. So I got to go to plan C. Well, that sounds relaxing. Jesus,
Right?
It's like being on the Jersey Turnpike.
It's just crazy. It is crazy. Like we at the Sentinel Dome trailhead, we got like a parking spot right up front. I don't
There's
know.
no shuttle service from Glacier Point to Sentinel Dome.
No, there's a shuttle service from like freaking like down in the valley up there. So it's just, I wouldn't say it's chaos, but once again, like Jessica and I, we were like getting ready for the hike, and there's people already looking to take our spot. And we're like, we're leaving for the hike. So
Wow.
this hike was a little bit on the cooler side, once again, because it was a big dome that overlooked the area that kind of was like half dome, but like easier, way easier. It's like 2.4 miles with 400 feet of gain.
Jessica
Nothing.
did the whole thing.
Absolutely. She loved
Good
it.
for her. Yeah.
And she was like overwhelmed by how much awesomeness it was.
Did she get more adventuresome as the trip went on?
Correct. Yep.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yep. And she got more sassy. So on this hike,
Was that the spicy margaritas or something else?
I should have fed her some spicy margaritas. So
It's a great way to start the day.
so she was like a trail queen, I would say. Like there was kids going off trail and like trampling over shit. And she's just like, stay off the goddamn trail, or stay on the goddamn trail and stay off the vegetation. I'm like, easy, you know, calm down. Like, I don't want to create a scene right here. And then I saw like kids going up the mountain off the trail, and they were like pulling the trees. And I'm like, all right, fucking stop it. And these like, the parents were like, hey, stop doing that. You shouldn't be doing that. And I'm just like, listen, man, like this stuff is like, this vegetation is fragile. Like you cannot be having these kids go over this shit. And they're like, they'll learn. And I'm like, they're going to learn right now. Like
they'll learn, but then the next group of kids comes along, and then the next after it. And,
yeah.
and it takes a while for the environment to rebound.
Yeah.
So you
and get this. When we were at the top of Sentinel Dome and we were on our way down, there's a kid throwing rocks over the side of Sentinel Dome. So this goes into the Yosemite Valley, like 4,000 feet into the valley.
Yeah. Is there like a hiking area below? Is there the possibility that people are right below this? Yeah.
And
Years ago, I think it was in Wyoming that some people did that when guys were rock climbing a face, and it killed one of the guys.
Yeah.
Some kids, teenagers were kicking stones over the edge.
Yep. And I seriously yelled out, are you fucking kidding me? And Jessica's like, stop throwing stone. I'm like, you could kill somebody below. Like that could hit a car.
You're being the trail police up there.
Yeah, and I was like, and Jessica was like livid, and she was like, "I'm like, let's take a step back." But we were both livid. Like, we were like, how could, like, number one, the parents
Be
be,
oblivious to this.
yeah, and then the kids were just like, let me throw a stone over this fucking 3,000-foot mountain and let's see if it hits something below. Like, what the fuck? Like, that's what killed me the most. But once again, the views up there were absolutely phenomenal. 360-degree views of the, like, John Muir Trail, the higher Sierra Nevada, stuff like that. Half Dome, Yosemite Falls, Nevada and Vernal Falls, absolutely phenomenal. So
What about Bride Vale Falls? Did you go there?
we did. We stopped when we did Tunnel View. We came back down and turned around at Bride Vale Falls.
Okay, so you did that before Glacier Point and Sentinel Dome.
Correct.
That was your first stop of the day, other
Yeah.
than the U-turn.
Yeah. It was nice. It was nice.
Is that it? Is that all you can say about Bride Vale Falls?
Yeah, because we didn't do anything other than like walk to where we can
Mhm.
see the full length of it, and then
So you spend 2 days there. What's your recommendation to somebody who's planning a trip out there? What would you advise them? How many
that's
days should they spend?
fucking
4, 10,
2 weeks.
2 weeks?
There's so many different places. Like hikers like you and I, like there's so many different things to do.
Mhm.
Like long distance hikes, waterfall hikes, like 4 mile hikes that have like 3,000 feet of gain. Like there's a lot for stuff like you and I to do. There's a lot of stuff for people with, that don't have crazy amount of hiking, like adaptation and stuff like that, that like experience and stuff that could do. There's so much out there, like insane.
So let's hear. You ready for the rapid fire round? I got some quick questions.
Sure.
You have anything else to say about the trip?
I just, the only thing that I have to say is that on our way back to Albany, we barely missed. We just made a flight by like 2
really?
minutes.
Why is
Yep.
that?
Because we were taxiing into an area, and then there was emergency in one other flight, so we couldn't taxi into that area. So we notified the steward, who was like, "I'll call somebody and say that there's like a bunch of people from this area." Upon that, and our flight from Albany to what's it called was delayed by 5 minutes because of us. So we just got there just in time. It was great.
Yeah.
So that's about it.
I've had those experiences.
It's fun.
So, what was the best side quest of the trip? Something that you ended up doing that you really didn't plan on doing when you went out there. The best side quest.
I'd have to say though that off trail of the Sequoias, and to go see, like, it wasn't paved, but you could see there was a trail and it led to the House, the Senate, and stuff like that. Just other bunch of just magical sequoias and stuff, like just kind of like going off trail and seeing what else is out there.
Yeah. The spontaneity of that is what it sounds like. You got to the end of the beaten path or the paved path and you just kept going.
Yeah.
What about what was it that you had planned to see that you didn't get to see? What was the big, strike and miss?
There was a bunch of different places in the Sequoias that I wanted to see. There was the Oboil tree, where it was like 2 miles of kind of like, I wouldn't say off-roading, but off-roading stuff. One car lanes that you could go up and see this giant sequoia. I think it's like the 7th biggest in the world. And we didn't get to see it. So, I mean, it was pretty far out of the way. I got to admit, it was the furthest away from where we were going to see.
Okay. What was the parking and shuttle experience like?
Parking was insane.
Annoying. It was like just annoying. Is that what I'm hearing?
It wasn't bad. Like, once again.
But you had people that were like pushing you to get out of your spot. So they
correct.
Could pull in. Yeah.
And once again, the amount of foreign people there, like they didn't have a clue of what we were saying, and they would just sit there with their blinker on. And I'm like, we're not leaving. Like, we're not going. And they're just like waving
What
to
about
me.
the middle finger? Did you give the middle finger?
Never.
Be honest.
Never.
Come on. He's nodding his head up and down, people.
The one
He's got his finger
annoying,
up. Yep.
The one most annoying thing was the amount of influencers there. Like the selfie sticks. Like, holy shit. We saw like 60-year-olds with a freaking 9-foot selfie stick. And I was just like, God damn. And there was a woman, a young woman, like going out to these places, and then you would see her do her pose. And I was like, fucking Christ, just enjoy what you have in front of you. Instead of, like, I love to photograph, like Jessica and I will take selfies and stuff, but we will not go to our extreme ascent to get that shot that's just like, like that was the most annoying thing, but it still didn't drive me away.
So are those comments going to generate more than 5 negative comments about this episode?
Not at all.
No, you don't think so? All right. Well, then that says our listeners are relatively cool. Okay. What was the experience riding around in this shuttle bus when you're out there? Was it like you're checking out the sights as you go along, or was it like the bus was so crowded it was annoying? Was it like being in a New York subway?
New York subway,
really?
But not annoying. It was tight. Like, it was, especially with my backpack, which we had, like, I only carried the backpack, which had both of our like waters, our food and stuff like that. But it was odd. It was really odd to be that person with the big backpack, and then everybody else has these small, like, purses and stuff. Like, it just felt really weird.
But you didn't feel over-prepared.
I was definitely over-prepared.
Yeah.
A lot of water, a lot of Gatorade, a lot of food.
Yeah. So you say we're over-prepared, but did you along the way stop carrying as much as you did on the first day? Did you back away? You see, you just kept full on East Coast backwoods carries. Okay.
Yeah.
So here you are. It's like abundantly crowded. People are, looking for parking spaces. Areas are full. Are you now in favor of reservations and permits? Or do you say, come one, come all?
It's a tough one.
Yeah. Well, that's why I'm asking it. What do you think? You've been there. I mean, this is the Catskill Falls. Should there be a limit? I mean, you saw the kids, going off trail, degrading the natural environment. Eventually, over time, that's all going to, be trampled on and yada, 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 taking away from the vegetation. So what's your answer? Permits?
My answer is not permits. It's more stewardship and more education and more personnel out there to teach and preach.
All of which costs money. Isn't it just easier to say, 10 people at a time?
Or it's easier to say, let's get our Doge checks. The fuck? Let's cut the National Park Service like we did and I saw out there and shit like that. Okay. Sorry to break everybody's political fucking standpoint, but I saw it firsthand. So
yeah, I agree with you on that. All right. So gear questions. What did you forget to bring or wish you had with you?
Snowshoes.
Yeah.
No. To be honest, I'm pretty sure we brought as much as we needed. We had our Nalgene bottles. We had Gatorades. We had food. With the hikes that I prepared and that we had, not too long distance and stuff, I think we packed what we needed and what we had,
You needed wide brim hats. That's what you left out.
That's true. We had a lot of sunscreen. We did sunscreen every time we got out of the car.
Yeah. I remember when my daughter and I did our trip last year, that was like the one thing I did have with me, that wide brim hat that my daughter took from me on day one, and I had to buy my substitution. But that was like, so nice to have a hat on it with a 360 wide brim on it to keep the sun off of you. What gear did you have with you that turned out to be more useful than you expected?
Ooh, my bladder.
Your bladder?
I brought the bladder along. Like
your hydration bladder?
Yeah. Okay. I filled that up with like 2 gallons or 2 liters of water. And, at the end of every hike or in the middle of every hike, we pour that into our Nalgene bottles and be ready to go instead of, dehydrated. And
So I'm getting the sense that you guys were going through more water than you would have expected on the East Coast.
it was warm. It was very warm. Like on the second day in Yosemite, it was like 87 degrees.
Mm-hmm. That's a dry heat. It's not
It
humid.
is.
Yeah.
It is. But when you're on the open summits, like it's a lot of heat. It's like 360 degree, no trees.
There's no relief. Yeah.
Yeah.
What gear did you have with you that was totally unnecessary that next time you want to bring with you?
Extra t-shirts for afterwards.
You never changed it. You never changed into the extra t-shirt. No post hike or post day gear change.
I was hiker trash the whole week.
Yeah.
Same shorts, same shirts.
Oh, that's so gross.
Hate to say it, same underwear.
Yeah. No wonder why Jessica didn't want to go all the way to the top of the mountain with you. Jesus. Yeah.
Right? Hiker trash, man.
So if one of our listeners contacted you and was planning one of these trips, what's the best advice you could give them in terms of planning? Don't try to pack too much into one day, get a super early start, have plenty of plan B and C options. What would you tell them to do?
The first two. Definitely do not plan too much into one day.
Mm-hmm.
Like these two places were majestic as fuck. Like I would spend a week out in Sequoia and Kings and then spend a week out in Yosemite. Like it was just too short of a time. 3 days in Sequoia and Kings and then 2 days in Yosemite. 2 days in Yosemite is nothing. Like I do not know how we did that.
Yeah. So which of the two, if you could only go back to one of them, would be the place you would go back to?
That's a tough one. I really, really enjoyed Sequoia.
Yeah, that would be my choice.
The trees, man. Like once again, the feeling I had with those trees is just something else. You get off the beaten path. There's nobody there, and you can look up 240 feet and be like, I am with this tree that's 2,000 years old. I can see this. Like, I don't know. There's something else. I hate to say this. I can't wait to move out west and live the van life and live the RV life.
Hey, that's my kid. She's out there. Not right now, but that's where she spends most of her time. And after doing that one trip with her, I can see why.
You'll be out there with us, Tad. You'll be out there with us.
Yeah. So got a couple questions to go. This could be the most important, though, of all questions. Did Jessica have fun?
She enjoyed it thoroughly.
Yeah. Is she still looking forward to the RV life?
She wants to get out of this life as fast as she can.
Okay.
It's crazy. Like we've already talked about different things of what we could do to work while we're out there, during the evenings, maybe being a waiter or waitress, doing different types of, I wouldn't say photography, but stuff. We've thought about it.
No, my daughter last summer, probably for almost 2 months, was working as a hostess at a poshy tourist day restaurant out in western Colorado. And
nice.
She'll tell you when she was done climbing for the day, their campsite was along a river, and she would just hike down the river and bathe, change into her work clothes. And she says the people that she was working for at this restaurant didn't have a clue that she was like a dirtbag rock climber, and would show up there and would do her thing. And she said she would look at all these people sitting there and eating and like having, talking about how much they love the place and how they would love to relocate here and spend all this time here. But then they would, after their week was up, they would head back to their day jobs and, live this kind of manufactured lifestyle. Okay. So next to last question. What's the most touriste thing you bought? A t-shirt, sticker? Did you get anything like that? Any tourist swag? So what'd you get? What was your prize purchase? We're going to see a new sticker on your Nalgene or something else? So
on my car.
Oh, on your car? Yeah.
Sequoia sticker. And then I got a Sequoia t-shirt and then we always get an ornament of the place. We've like a trio on it.
Very cool.
Yeah. So
all right. Last question. What was the best post-hike ruin bite on the trip?
Ooh. Oh, God. I should have looked this up, but hold on.
Jesus, is this like, have you ever listened to the show before? What
I
was
know,
your name
right?
again? Yeah. Stosh. What is that? Hard to see. Something Russin.
Right. So there was this place, this Mexican place in Three Rivers that was absolutely phenomenal. Hold on. Blah, 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 blah. Once again, with Jessica and I, it was called
Taco Bell.
Yeah, 100%. Casa Mendoza. Yes. Casa Mendoza. Delicious.
Oh, yeah.
It was a wet burrito, so it had like the green sauce on it and stuff with a bunch of sour cream on the top. Oh, it's delicious. Huge.
Oh, yeah.
Like after a post hike, like normal people, if they didn't hike, they would be like, oh, I can only do half of this. I was like, I'm going to finish this shit.
Yeah. Cool.
It was good. Good.
Okay. So, did I leave anything out? Anything else you want to throw in? Yeah.
You know, I just want to say, anybody who is thinking about doing this, fucking do it. It's just, even with the crowds, it is something else that you will never forget in your life. Mm-hmm. And it's something that Tad and I are going to do with Jessica and his wife. And we're going to fucking do it. And I'm going to haul Tad out there. I'm like, you're going on the tourist shit with me. I would do all those places all over again. I don't care. So.
All right, cool. Well, thanks for sharing it with us. Who's on next week?
So next week is Ryan from the Catskill Forest Association, I believe.
Okay, sounds cool.
Let me make sure of that. We got a great list coming up. So a bunch of diverse area or like, yes, Ryan T from the Catskill Forest Association. So, and awesome. We'll kick it off from there. So, all right. So once again, thank you for everybody who has joined us. Appreciate you listening to me on my ramble about going out west and stuff. And big thanks to Tad for joining me tonight and to talk about my ramble about California. Really appreciate it.
All right, buddy. Well,
yeah, I finished up his drink. Nice.
Yeah, glad to have you back. My Coke. I moved on to a Coke Zero. My true addiction in life.
Nice. All right. So everybody have a great night. Thank you for listening, and we'll catch you next week.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, everyone. I just want to thank you for listening to the show. If you enjoyed the show, subscribe and throw down a smooth review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or any podcast platform that you use. You can also check daily updates of the podcast, hikes, hiking news, and local news on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and the official website of the show. Remember this, you gotta just keep on living in the Catskills, man. Livin.
Wicked, 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 wicked.